Secretive organization known as Anonymous, a loose-knit group of computer hackers who came to the defense of WikiLeaks and got the attention of law enforcement in the process. They are young and stealthy, and they are potential giant killers.
Anonymous hacker activists have basically got together and are exacting revenge for what they see as attacks on WikiLeaks, and they're targeting a number of corporations that have cut off their ties with WikiLeaks.
So they see themselves as protesters. Essentially that the government can't prevent you or I from talking openly. They interpret it much more broadly. They believe that everybody has an inalienable right to say whatever they want on any forum whatsoever.
Out today, this group of computer hackers are apparently threatening cyber war over this WikiLeaks case. What do you know about that?
Yeah, NBC is reporting that Anonymous, it's a group we've heard of before, is threatening new attacks not only on U.S. corporations, but also on some of the government officials.
Number one story, MasterCard announced Monday it would no longer process payments to WikiLeaks. This morning, internet activists crashed its website. This afternoon, Visa.com crashed. Tonight, Twitter might be next. It suspended an Operation Payback account. A group calling itself Anonymous has been waging Operation Payback for a few months now. The group says it is dedicated to a, quote, anonymous, decentralized movement that fights against censorship and copy wrong.
Well, officials have confirmed that at least 41 Malaysian government websites had been hacked overnight. This follows a threat by hacker group Anonymous to punish the authorities for internet censorship. Officials say that 51 websites were hit and at least 41 of them were disrupted in these attacks.
Targets like HB Gary, a major cybersecurity firm some U.S. government agencies rely on to keep their computers safe. Last month, HB Gary boasted it would expose Anonymous. The response was swift. Anonymous took down their website, stole thousands of emails, and posted them on the internet. The CEO resigned. Anonymous is credited with bringing down government websites in Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya. And now it's made new threats against companies and government officials complicit in what it views as the mistreatment of Bradley Manning, the Army private accused of leaking to WikiLeaks.
Anonymous is powerful enough that it's certainly struck fear into the hearts of some of the biggest technology companies, the biggest companies in the whole world.
Our own Justice Department doesn't take any action against these guys. It's been 3 years since the debacle in Wall Street that caused our economic collapse. And where's Washington? Where's Washington? They haven't done a damn thing. But look, what you're looking at here, in combination of all these things, is a new model on how to fight back. You have to take action into your hands. Direct, peaceful resistance.
We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. You could be in a lot of trouble. Now, people have figured out that you can hit the powerful where it counts in their pocketbooks. The same thing happened in Egypt, where Mubarak only stepped down after the labor strikes began. And then there's the national and international movement against the power establishment. The group Anonymous recently released this video warning the global banking systems.
We are a decentralized, non-violent, resistance movement which seeks to restore the rule of law and fight back against the organized criminal class.
Now that's a little spooky, but I liked it. And apparently they came armed with documents, which we're going to tell you about in a second. But look, what I like is peaceful resistance.
However, they can't just randomly launch an attack. And in order to do it, you have to go on this IRC chat. Anyone can suggest a target. That person then has to make a compelling case for the target, and then whoever happens to be, it's a quorum of whoever happens to be awake, can vote up or down on this target. So if somebody has not made a compelling enough case, enough people may pull their computers off of this voluntary botnet that the attack might not be nearly as effective. So it is, in fact, an amazing kind of Athenian democracy. If you forget sort of the ethics of what they're doing, place that to one side, what they've achieved is sort of this set of checks and balances that agrees in a very fluid way on what the target is.
This is the new model of fighting back against the establishment and against corporate power. Don't wait for your knight in shining armor to show up from DC. The bad news is he ain't coming. The good news is it turns out you're the knight in shining armor.
I believe that Gandhi's views were the most enlightened of all the political men in our time. We should strive to do things in his spirit, not to use violence in fighting for our cause, but by non-participation in anything you believe is evil.
What's next? What's next is all they can do is shut down the internet itself. And we see how that went for them in Egypt. And we, the people, know that when the government shuts down the internet, that's when it's time to shut down the government. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. And now, you can expect a whole lot more.
Hello, free people of the world. This is Anonymous. It's time to stand up and face the New World Order. Your country calls for you to follow orders and to stand in place like a slave drone. We call for you to say no. We call for you to say you are anonymous. You have the right to stay anonymous, and so shall you do so. Go to protest and stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for what is right. Stand up and say you are anonymous. We are anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a rare look inside Anonymous.
They're this shadowy and motley group of hackers and activists who answer to no one, drawn together by love of internet mischief.
Well, now they're evolving into this movement of social change, a real driving force behind the Wall Street occupiers. No surprise, they're hated by corporate security, but also hunted by the FBI.
And one of the questions we're asking is, who are these people and why are they taking to the streets? To get some answers, Amber Lyons stepped into the shadows.
Back up. It's a dark and disturbing vision. A world where riot police attack with impunity.
What happened? You got shot. Get back.
Where democracy is corrupted by greed and dissent is crushed. That's how Anonymous sees America. And they say that's why they're fighting back.
We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget.
It's a movement that defies description. Leaderless.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
Faceless. Anarchic.
This is our space.
A loose collective born on the internet, Anonymous has no official members and no hierarchy. But within the group, some individual Anons have greater standing, earned by their skills as hackers, video makers,
to see it with my own eyes and record it myself,
and increasingly street-level activists.
Show me what police state looks like.
Troy, not his real name, is one of them.
This is what happens when the people have had enough. This is what happens when greed goes unchecked.
Troy says he was drawn to Occupy Wall Street after watching his mother struggle with medical debts. He himself is working 2 jobs to make ends meet, despite having a college degree.
You kind of just lose track of days, lose track of time, but it's worth it. It's all worth it.
We met him at the Occupy Wall Street camp at Zuccotti Park.
There's no specific person that talks for us. It's more like a hive, you know, an idea is brought up and whoever agrees with it, if the overwhelming majority of people that agree with it, then we go with it.
So we're following Troy, and he's been out here policing, kind of making sure that all of these protesters are getting along with the community and not causing any problems.
We're handling internal affairs as far as damage control within the community, making sure that everybody's respecting the local small businesses around here. How's it going?
But he's not just watching over the protests. He's also watching the police. Part of the evolution of Anonymous from hackers to activists. Anonymous was born a decade ago in one of the weirdest and darkest corners of the internet. An anything-goes image board called 4chan. 4chan users post anonymously, and the name stuck.
We do not forgive.
The group adopted a distinct identity and its own symbolism. A mask taken from the movie V for Vendetta. A retelling of the story of the English rebel Guy Fawkes and his plot to blow up the House of Lords in 1605. Instead of gunpowder, Anonymous uses the internet. Anonymous attacks its targets by flooding and crashing corporate and government websites, or digging up and publicizing highly embarrassing information. It's called trolling. They troll targets out of genuine outrage, but also just for fun.
LULZ, it's a kind of pluralization and bastardization of laugh out loud.
New York University professor Gabriella Coleman has been watching Anonymous for years.
It's a term that kind of denotes this sort of pleasure, humor, laughter, everything from something which is quite playful, harmless, to engaging in a kind of full-fledged trolling attack that humiliates.
Anonymous's campaigns, known as operations or ops, can be dramatic. In late 2010, a distributed denial of service attack took down the website of PayPal after the company cut off support for the online whistleblower site WikiLeaks.
PayPal continues to withhold funds from WikiLeaks, a beacon of truth in these dark times.
16 Anons were arrested by the FBI, charged with conspiring to intentionally damage PayPal's computers.
This is a message from Anonymous to the Bay Area Rapid Transit System, BART.
This summer, Anonymous attacked the San Francisco area's public transportation system, BART. BART had cut cell service within the transit system as a way of disrupting anti-police brutality protests. Anonymous's reaction was devastating and vicious.
We will not issue any more warnings.
Op BART included the release of a naked photo of a senior BART employee.
Sometimes it kind of makes you laugh, sometimes it makes you cringe, sometimes it makes you laugh and cringe at the same time. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my gosh, there is this, dagger that's being thrown.
A naked photo.
Yeah, a naked photo.
Do you feel like there is a fear out there of what they could possibly find or leak about a certain individual?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what makes them who they are, is that they are kind of bad boys and rude boys to some degree. There is a dual sort of fascination and horror that goes on at the same time.
Be aware, be vigilant.
Anonymous was evolving, using its power to shock and disrupt to effect social change. During the Arab Spring, the collective emerged as a full-fledged activist group, taking up the cause of Tunisians fighting against a repressive regime, literally saving lives.
The Tunisian government has made itself an enemy of Anonymous.
They did everything from take down government websites. They wrote scripts to stop the phishing of passwords. They brought massive media attention to Tunisia.
And last fall, Anonymous broke cover here at home, stepping out from behind their secure computer screens for a new cause, Occupy Wall Street.
There is a revolution brewing.
Suddenly, the symbols of Anonymous were everywhere, in flags, masks, banners.
We are the 99%!
When we return, pepper spray and Anonymous strikes back.
How are they getting personal information of these officers?
I'd rather not say.
The shadowy internet group known as Anonymous has grown now far beyond its hacker roots. It's now emerging as a forceful public relations weapon for the Occupy protest movement. Amber Lyon takes you inside Anonymous.
We are Anonymous.
Anonymous likens itself to the Air Force of the Occupy movement.
Everyone, everywhere will be occupying their towns, their capitals, and other public spaces.
Anonymous has an array of people on the streets. We're talking medics in San Francisco, tech support in Washington, D.C. And here in New York, guys like Troy. Troy, not his real name, is part of an army of citizen journalists documenting the movement and the police by broadcasting live video over streaming sites. When they see evidence of what they believe is police misbehavior, Anonymous strikes back, releasing personal information about specific officers.
And hopefully he'll think twice before he pulls out his baton against somebody who's holding a sign saying, we just want peace.
And how are they getting cell phone numbers and personal information of these officers or bankers?
I'd rather not say.
In September, an NYPD officer named Anthony Bologna was filmed pepper spraying 2 protesters. Anonymous took direct action.
We will unleash hell on your phones, your servers, and anything else we can find.
One of the most active subgroups within Anonymous is called the Cabin Crew. Their specialty is doxing. It's shorthand for combing the internet for all the information you can find about a target and then releasing it publicly.
Cabin crew have noticed the injustices being committed by the New York police.
Cabin Crew compiled Bologna's name, his home address, past legal actions, even the names of his family members, and put it all online. After a police investigation and public pressure, Bologna was placed on leave and reassigned to Staten Island.
What do you think that did to the NYPD when they saw this officer's information get posted online?
I think that they would see it as a form of vigilantism. They're pushing the boundaries of the law. But I think some of their actions also reveal the ways in which either private security companies or police are also acting outside of the boundaries of the law.
Anonymous's biggest coup in the propaganda wars was this. An Anon group by the name Operation Leaks posts the clip on YouTube. The next day, the clip tops 100,000 views. 3 days later, 1.5 million. The casually spraying cop had it all. It was outrageous, ridiculous, lulzy, and effective.
Police in riot gear sprayed students,
pepper spraying student protesters.
The incident was picked up by the mainstream media and replayed over and over again.
Nice shopping.
Anonymous wants to frame the narrative of the Occupy movement as a contest between peaceful protesters and a militarized police state.
Oh my gosh.
Reality, though, isn't quite so clear-cut. At Occupy Oakland, some protesters attacked the police with rocks and bottles. Others erupted in a fury after the city tore down their encampment.
They're getting a little heated. Some people are trying to tear down this fence and head into the main area, but others are trying to keep them quiet and calm so that the police don't have to get re-involved.
I need some help. We need some more help over here. You're f***ing willing to fight us, but not the police? They fight the police, and you're doing their job.
The anonymous PR machine focused solely on instances where the cops got out of line. And they had plenty of ammunition.
What happened? What happened? He got shot.
During one night of chaos, police apparently fired a projectile directly at a former Marine named Scott Olson, who was peacefully protesting against the crackdown. Anonymous went into overdrive.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly.
Scanning the video for police badge numbers and names, offering a reward for anyone who could identify the officer responsible. The case is still under investigation. The Department of Homeland Security has put out several alerts to law enforcement and corporate security focused mainly on the group's hacking activities. And the FBI has made more than a dozen arrests.
We're living in a police state.
But there's no indication that has cramped Anonymous's style. Their latest op?
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all on planet Earth.
On Christmas Day, members crashed the website of a security research company, hacking its client list along with their credit card numbers in order to steal $1 million for donations to charity.
We are anonymous. Expect us.
And our correspondent Amber Lyon now joins us here in studio. A little frightening, a little scary.
Slightly, especially for law enforcement in many aspects.
You know, I got to ask, so what if they get it wrong? What if they put up some personal information that is inaccurate? Do they have any accountability?
There's very little accountability because of the way Anonymous is organized. Anyone can claim to be anonymous. There's also a lot of extreme outliers. And you know, law enforcement is intimidated by Anonymous. We tried to get an interview with anyone federally or locally, and they refused to send an officer forward kind of to the chopping block because they feared that if this officer appeared on camera, they could become a target of Anonymous.
This is an anonymous message from the global revolution to politicians, dictators and plutocrats all over the planet. Surprised by the global disobedience? Let us explain to you your delicate situation. Tens of thousands of years ago, human beings began to evolve. Since then, our species has walked a dark and bloody road, which isolated people condemned to live in fear caused by ignorance. Knowledge, ethics and technological development have always been conditioned by the elite in their wars, which is a neo-Orwellian metaphor, have done nothing more than perpetuate vertical and obscurantist social schemes. We have arrived to the 21st century of our era, after 2 world wars, endorsing the possibility of nuclear conflict with assured mutual destruction. Their so-called economists and intellectuals, having announced that it was the end of the story, it seemed, more than ever, that looking for a fairer order was meaningless. Thinking that they had slowed our rational development enough, they let us carry on with a progress model whose sole objective was never more than to make them even richer and more powerful. However, they did not consider that the real human spirit refuses to bow, always. While they believed they were overcoming us by using economic shocks, our species has evolved in a new manner. Using only the powers of culture and freedom, we have reused those technological resources that were born of our genius and that were only provided to us with consumerist intentions. So we have updated, improved and immunized our force operations and effectiveness. We absorb their own tactics, techniques and power of persuasion to form our own means, dreams and challenges. Today, the revolution is spreading around the planet as a challenge to their oppression, and they shamelessly try to shut down our freedom of expression. Finally, information has reached critical mass, exploding in a melting pot of voices whose new wishes and needs can't be covered by their old paradigm. Now, physically and digitally interconnected, we form a huge collective consciousness. Maybe their corporate media silences what is happening, but they cannot fool us anymore. They can temporarily stop some points, but the process will continue unstoppable and ever-changing. Now it doesn't matter which measures they take for trying to counteract us. The more violence, censorship and obstacles they put in our way, the more they expose their weakness. From every place on the earth, with different ideas and from different conditions, women and men have always existed and always will exist to oppose the pretense of undemocratic and unjust governments. After millenniums of suffering, our species has stood up, and nothing will ever be the same. Their totalitarian game is ending. But friends, the story hasn't ended. This is where it begins. We will take the streets and occupy. Change is happening. The people should never fear the government. The government should fear the people. We are the people. We are the only system. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. Join us.
The #1 most influential person of 2012, according to RT America, is the hacktivist group Anonymous.
And hacktivist group Anonymous didn't waste any time in firing back.
With Mega Upload, shutting down the websites of the Department of Justice, the FBI, the Motion Picture Association of America, Universal Pictures, among many others.
And then, take us a month later and, 10,000 people were just in the streets. And in every major country in the world, in every major city in the world.
And also Syria, where they tried to keep the internet online for many, even though it was virtually shut down for a couple of days.
Help the ones that are dying, and it will further the collective as a whole, and we can help bring a peace within the Gaza region to those people that so desperately need it.
Israel's finance minister acknowledging that it was facing cyber attacks on an unprecedented scale, with over 44 million attempts to attack and disrupt government websites.
Aside from going after websites, Anonymous also released the personal information of 5,000
And welcome to Anonymous Bites Back, episode 54. This is your host, Tyler. Having some technical difficulties.
Is it 55?
Yeah, apparently, hold on. It'll go there. Hold on, I'm having some real technical difficulties. There we go. It grabbed it. This is episode 54, where our guests like to introduce themselves.
Oh boy.
I'm Tara.
Hey, what's going on?
Preston from Texas.
All right, and first off, we'd like to go on with Tara. I wanted to talk to us about. We've covered a bit before about Blue Whale, but would you like to explain to us what exactly Blue Whale is?
I could tell you what they say it is, and what it's coming out to be something totally different from what I'm getting. It's going to probably. I'm going to go off topic eventually, like to another situation, but it's all going to go to the same point. You'll get it.
Okay.
Blue Whale was basically. It was originated by, of course, journalism, media spread, and when somebody got a hold of it, they exaggerated quite a bit. The game was real. It was a death group from Russia, and I believe it was called F57. That's the reason for the hashtag. You know what I mean? And then, but the thing is that the game wasn't started off to be like that. It got the suicides and all the media and the photos and the videos. That's all sick people that are playing. That's the stuff they come up with. So everything that you've seen from what they say that is so and so in the game is somewhat true.
Well, yeah, I have seen examples of faked pictures out there. They are floating around, so I'm aware of that.
Right, and then, people are getting smarter these days, but from what I've been told, I have a couple people on the VK website, which I'm still really new about, but I've for some reason gracefully ran into these people who knew quite a bit about the Blue Whale, but for some reason can't talk about it, and partially because Russia has now banned any use, any media, any possessional stuff that is essentially basically connects the suicide to it. It's a felony now, so nobody talks about it over there.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha. I'm on VK, and that was where it originated, right?
Yeah, and I just found out today that because there's so many fake accounts, and of course you're going to go look at the one that says, Philip Fox or Philip List or whatever his names are. You're going to want to check it out, and a lot of those times they play it off to be they're really good at what they're doing, but they're not real, because he doesn't speak a bit of English, not one bit. So he's not on social media connecting through anybody this way, but he can get a hold of people. They do allow him to be on the internet, which is really stupid.
Now, I don't know if you've seen what I've seen from some of the other ops that are going on Blue Whale, is that they have moved from VK, and they will search for curator find me or pound curator find me, and they do it through or pound I am the Blue Whale hashtags on Twitter.
Right. Actually, I think it's in waves on each social platform. I think it's fading on that one, is not as much as it was going strong like 2-3 weeks ago. But I've come to the conclusion that those hashtags that you see that are basically stamped in stone now, it's like a trademark now. Every time you see one of those, it's usually some kid who's not really serious. They're just trying to mess with people and just try to see if they can get somebody to play. Or it's some psycho that ends up being a pedophile. So basically you're telling, hey, look at me, I'm posting all these obvious hashtags, come find me. And they're not going to answer to that stuff because that's calling attention to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So for a fact, if you're supposedly a good one, you're not going to go, hey, I see you. You know what I mean? Like, they have some weird demonic way of finding their people. I don't know, but yeah, it's moving slowly off of Twitter. I mean, I'm not as active on there as I was a week ago, but I'm over on VK more.
Gotcha.
I found out a whole lot about stuff on VK. It's insane.
Yeah, they have the 50-day challenge, and I believe one of the major ones is waking you up at weird 4:20 in the morning and watching horror movies about people or or watching death videos and stuff like that.
They're disgusting videos, and it's from a certain group in particular. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll kind of look it up while I'm talking. But I've been in the middle of some games already, and that's the same videos that I've been sent in all of them. So, I mean, and I'm still trying to find out why are they part of it, what's their relation to it, are they, running it. But everything's becoming more difficult to figure out because it really isn't just about, hey, you have 50 days to prepare yourself to die. There's a secret task, I believe it's like 9 or 19 or something like that, and it's that is to actually poison somebody. And then eventually they use that, hold it against you till the end.
Oh,
wow.
That would make sense. That would make sense. Because,
right,
because some of those... Yeah, go ahead.
No, you're fine, go ahead.
Well, no. I can't get into details, but there's, I guess some evidence of, some halted games, where there were reasons why they said that the curator had stuff over them. I can't get into the details.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of those, and that's the thing is, when I started on VK, I didn't know where to begin because I'm American. I didn't know that I could use translator for everything, and I know that you can tell if you're using a translator. It's obvious that they will know. So I had to, the first person I found was ironically somebody who studies this, and he teaches classes, and he's a linguist. And he's written 3 articles about the blue whale, and only him, and that's it. So I was good enough to latch on and see what he would tell me, and I acted like I wanted to play, and we ended up getting into deep theoretical talks, and he told me all kinds of stuff. And we're still current now. I'm just tripping at half of the stuff he told me, and it's not just about killing teenagers and stuff.
Well, the originator, what's his name? He got arrested for 14 counts of. What was it? Insisting. Yeah, I forget what the charges were, but through his own quotes on the creator, he said that he was trying to purge the population of the weakest links or some weird shit like that.
Yeah, the biological trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is the original death group F57 back in I forget what era, I think it was the 50s or 60s, I'm not quite sure, maybe it was the 80s, I don't know. But their original intent was it was basically, the Blue Whale was basically about hide and seek. They would, have one person tell you whether or not you're good enough to play, then they would forward you to a curator, or they would call you a tutor. And then, they have all this stuff just like the Blue Whale now, but it's basically up to the person playing to either end his life and quit the game and think he wins that way, or get some knowledge and survive and, do the same to another. It was originally like that, so they were doing the same thing by weeding out the waste and the weak. Because also, Russia is not about weak people. They pick on them all the time. That's what they live for. So, that goes in hand. So, you're going to pick a child who's, obviously depressed because of whatever reason, when that's a really known country for death anyway, for teen deaths and suicide. So why not pick on them first and start it there? But I don't think it's just somebody. He did not just make the game to become a game. There's no clear reason for this, and I'm trying to make sure that I can prove this, because I'm dead on. I swear I am.
Yeah, for some weird reason, I don't think the game even originated on VK. It probably started off on some other platform and then just got kind of big there.
It was originally. I'm led to believe it was on Telegraph because they're known to deep encrypt everything, and there's some reason they're impossible to break to, and there's no identity trace. It's untouchable, but
originally for Russian secrets.
Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, your mic got really clear for some reason.
Oh, wait, sorry.
It's good. No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But yeah, originally Telegraph was invented just like a Facebook platform. It was a blank canvas though, and it was a trap.
You mean Telegram, like Telegram, the messenger service?
Yeah, the messenger app. Yeah, and originally it was used for people to get terrorist tips and trade secrets with Secret Service. By FSB, because that was unbreakable. They couldn't decrypt anything. They couldn't figure out nothing about it. So that's how everything came to pop up with no proof of evidence, because it was never left. So it originally started there, and then they moved to VK because I think this is a governmental social experiment that Russia does to get back at Ukraine, and I have like physical and visual proof of all these things connecting to it, but I don't think it was just a game for a game. I think this is a deeper plan from the FSB. Not only that, but I think that they're all over VK, and there's some reasons why I worry about it.
So
But,
you were telling me about that. You spotted FSB on VK as well, right?
I did, and they actually. This is the thing. Okay, so we had a couple of other people. I'm not sure if they were actually anonymous or not, but I think they were just like me, wanting to help in the beginning. So they had bait accounts over there on VK, and then out of nowhere they're blocked because of security reasons. Then I find through people that I follow, and I randomly just pick people. If I see you have a blue whale or someone that played it, I want to know you. So I think that FSB is, they're not only are they controlling what they're going to let out and who they're keeping in there, but they see every single post. So when you post a hashtag for that game, that's an obvious one, they're going to target you and go, let's see what you want to do. They'll track you. And, Putin's law is everything on that website is fair game to anybody. We have to hear it. So, and then I was confronted yesterday by a few people actually asking if I was a curator, and then they sent me a photo that I only shared with one person that I was playing with that disappeared. So I started getting a little more cautious about that, and then I was asked if I was a cop, and I said, no, I heard you were, and he said I very well could be, and then I blocked him. I mean, because I know. Well, no, because in Russia, it's a felony to talk about suicide and anything about it. So they're basically, but what I'm getting at is, the people that were helping me that were bait accounts, they obviously knew we were friendly. So, but they were disconnected, they were blocked, what have you. But why would they keep leaving me up when all these people around me are getting taken down? Because I'm getting closer to something, I think. And I know, and the blue whale situation's gone on for like 3 years before we heard about it. So, I mean, they're getting a little worried because now it's actually going to come to light, and something's going wrong. I think something's going wrong in the government.
We're seeing evidence of the game. Hitting stateside. It's hit New Zealand.
Yep, it's going in waves too. And you'll see a few dwindle here and there, like people in like Moscow and like all closer, just around Russia in general, and just like Czechoslovakia. Ukraine can't have social media. Russia
blocked Ukraine is blocking Russian
protest.
I'm gonna have to ask my Russian friends about this game.
Oh my word! But the thing is it's deeper. If you're looking on VK for this game, you're gonna find like satanic, communities, death house, witch house, stuff like that, and
pretty much anything you'd find on Facebook. Right?
But they're scary as shit. Some of them things are terrifying, and it's pretty nasty. But I'm still wanting to watch more. Like I want to see how much people know and like what they share. It's just I can't believe it. Like if you ask people on Twitter to play and they send you a video, it's going to be something you pulled off of YouTube. But like I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's like 11B or something. This group over there. I'm going to pull it up right now. But every video I've seen is made by them or shared by somebody that follows them.
Right.
But it's weird.
Well, there could be some ritualistic aspect to this, game. I mean, it's.
I think it's so many things. It could be so many things. But for them to continue, I don't know why they would. Originally, that Putin was in the KGB. He was a commander, I believe, or a chief or something. Before he was either him or his dad or something like that was. So he's into like Russian Secret Service. He knows how to do these things and get away with it. But the thing is that one of the players that I contacted in the beginning of getting on VK by the name of Vladimir Kostov, he eventually turned out to be a teacher for the Federal Security Service there. And he teaches cybercrime and social placement. By the name of Vladimir Kostov. And they do they do cryptic stuff, they do coding all the time, and I thought, well, what would be a better thing to do, in class to show you firsthand, let's go do this. It's just like the rumor game. You tell somebody something and let's see how far it gets around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that Philip, when he pulled this stuff, because he was taking psychology, I think he was thinking a little too far outside the box, and it scared the crap out of the school. I'm thinking because the couple of people that I know on there have went to school with him, but I still cannot get them to confirm that he was at that school. But I've seen documents of him being expelled and stuff, so I know he was at that school. But I just don't understand why. I mean, unless they've had a part in talking about it, why they would be worried about it. But I don't see how they keep leaving my profile up. And I've talked to so many kids and done so many chats that they should shut me down for if they were monitoring. But everybody I've talked to usually disappears. It's like if I get closer, somebody goes away.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it's just.
There was also, there was problems even taking down curators. You know anything about that?
Well, if you take a page down, basically, if you're really playing the game, it's not about joining a community and staying there and, doing your private messages. You have to look around. It's basically like fishing. You're going to find one, you're going to find a curator, and he's going to start the game with you, and obviously a page will get, shut down, or he'll have to move or something. And then it's basically about find me, come find me, and we keep playing. So the more you're interested to play, the more you find him, and I mean, it's basically he's got to disguise himself all the time. So
well, no, I was more along the lines of legal action towards the curators.
It's hard to have them. We have disappearing chat, encrypted stuff that nobody's going to even tackle. And I mean, like, people are just getting kids younger than me have a freaking better thing of hiding messages than I would right now. But that's how easy it is for them to latch onto it because they were born into it. So. I mean, it's the whole world is becoming like, don't leave my footprint. Like, I'm not going to tell you what I said earlier because that never happened. And Russia's known to use apps like that all the time, Every one I've seen with about me history on there, it's usually a WhatsApp or InstaChat or something weird like that. And there's secret codes like people will post on their statuses that you'll get a hint to go join whatever and go find them.
Oh, of course, you're using code words for a highly legal game. Yeah.
Right, and I mean, because VK is high, everything that goes through VK is watched by federal service agents. They are running it. They have to control it. That's part of the freaking law, the law that Russia passed actually this year, I think, that all internet pass-throughs, all media, and all information has to be shared with the Russian government.
I wasn't aware of that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, they just passed it in like May or something. I think it was only in for a couple weeks before they just decided to change it. But they're using this game as the reason, and but some of the stuff, like if you look on a profile on VK and it says closed, due to security concerns, or one I've actually seen that says the entire situation. This was taken down due to its partake in like suicide assistance, and like I don't get why they would tell you all that. Like, what does it matter? They blocked you. It's shut down. What does it matter?
That's
a little too much.
I haven't even seen that yet on VK.
I just thought the other day. I was like, really? And yeah, it's like if you know for a fact they were really in the game or something dangerous about them, that would have their label on there when it was blocked.
Now, you see this account, Blue Whale, from St. Petersburg. This one is always up.
Yeah, and that's what I think. That's what I mean by I wonder why they're picking and choosing who they're taking down.
This guy has 1,100 followers.
Right. Oh, it's
ridiculous.
Always up. And well, VK, you can't like report them. You can't tweet them. You can't ask to suspend. You can't give any reports really. It'll go through, but they don't do what Twitter does. They don't respond. They do their own thing. They control what they want. Just like, VK, they don't have protests. They don't have certain ads that are on here. They're controlled because they don't want people thinking outside of their, where they want you to think. And it's really a sad situation because this is really becoming something that's going two ways now, not just one. And every time I find somebody, they either block me or freak out. And new people will show up asking me if I want to play. And I'm just like, I'll take it as far as I can until I either figure it out or pass them along.
No, where do you think this game is going besides some weird, cult death game? You think? Well,
I think they're using the game as the experiment. Like, I don't want to say that it's ISIS because I don't know. I don't have a clue, but I know that in the beginning of the game, Russia would have ISIS terrorist or something portraying to that, and they took advantage of the game going around, so they would start using those accounts to do terrorism. So I mean, I don't know. I want to say I want to say it was ISIS, and this is their big plan. But you know what I mean? Because eventually, all the stuff going on with the internet, with the freedom and the rights that we're about, people controlling all that, and what the protests coming up and stuff. I really think the internet's going to screw us all. This is what kills us. It's no nuclear weapon. It's the fucking internet. It's stupid.
I mean, just kids trying to commit suicide on the internet.
Well, not only that, but I think it's just that they're trying to show how easy people can fall into that. Like, haha, we've got you, and you don't even know it. Like, but this game particularly, they only target up to like 15-year-olds, maybe if that. So
Yeah,
what I don't get is
it's
the people that know that you're like,
teenagers in early 20s. Yeah.
yeah, I've only seen a couple. I wasn't sure about those ones yet because a lot of them look so young anyway. But I mean, I've run into a couple where they're like, "How old are you?" I'm like 30, and they're like, "What the hell do you want to play for?" I said, "Why not? Well, I'm ready. Let's just play, no questions." And then they start talking to me, and then they start switching the tables, and it's just weird. And I'm like, being their psychologist, it's creepy. It is so creepy.
Now, the amount of deaths that have been resulted.
It's so weird.
The amount of deaths that have resulted in this. How many?
Yeah,
is it like in the 400s now? They think.
Yeah. Well, each state has or each country and each district, they have their own legislations on the reports of deaths, or if they even report death or suicides, what they're, any kind of numbers like that. So it's climbing, but there's no proof, like legit, I'm taking you to prison for life proof that there's an assistment with the suicides. They just all happen to be friends of each other on this chat. They were all part of the game. But now that he's in jail, and they arrested another person too, but he was only using the game and lying to get money out of people, like extorting photos and videos and saying, "I'll show your parents." So whenever a player really is truly in a game, they're not going to ask you for proof of all that, because that means they're selling your stuff on the internet for snuff.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing over there too. It's huge. And so I was told by somebody that's really, a colleague that was I met on VK. He's the one that did the papers. He said, "Don't ever let somebody ask you for your stuff like that, because if they make money off of you, they're not truly playing the game. They're going to send you, everybody's going to use you."
Uh-huh.
And he goes, "If you want to do it for real, you need to do your work, and, when you're ready, you'll find them." And he knows all kinds of stuff, and I haven't gotten it from him yet because there's so much, I guess. He said I have to learn Russian to understand it. But I could figure it out. I've got quite a few translators on my stuff. But I mean, he says that it was originally government started, and then it just took off. That psychologist kid, he probably learned it in class as an experiment, or as a topic or something, and then he just kind of got obsessed with it, kind of like we all are looking for it.
Uh-huh.
This is like the psychological social trait. Let's see how easy it is to get in your head. And something so stupid became something so told wrong, and now it's something so out of control.
That's definitely.
It's just going. I mean, because we have people, pedophiles are using the game to lure kids in, and it makes the job for pedo hunters twice as hard now because they have to play blue whale now. But I mean, it's just a shame. It sucks that not only are people using this game wrong, and they're taking it like it's something. It's a deadly game, and it can very easily turn bad.
Well, yeah. There's countless what was that that
especially
there's been those girls that jumped off the building.
Those videos disgust. Oh my god, I shake every time I see them. I can't even imagine. That's just so wrong.
I think one of them was like 12.
Yeah, she was like 11 years old. I think she was just going to be. I think her birthday was the day after she jumped or something. But yeah, that's in Mike. I have kids that are 11 and 10. There's no way in hell I could see that. Like, that kills me. And for me to wonder if they're just using, they're like the game says, we're weeding out the weak, getting rid of the waste. Because if you go to the VK and find some certain players that are connected with Whale, you'll see some subscriptions that they have to like Witch House or Suicide, Mindless Suicide, or something like that. But there's a reason why, is because in all those they do some kind of rituals that say, we're gonna overcome. The truth is coming. It's gonna happen soon. We have to be strong. We can't be weak.
Oh, that's a little.
And
bizarre.
they all share the same. And they share the same symbolism as the FF7 or 5-7.
Oh, that's a little bizarre.
So, there's a reason why. Some people are taking it deeper. I know that they do all that stuff in Russia, but like Italy, they don't have like all those death groups and suicide pages and stuff like that. It's more just like a bunch of kids. So it's to think that somebody's just spreading it away, like trying to get it to go that way. because people are crawling all over VK now. And I wonder, because I've been contacted by the government already and they haven't taken my page down. And that just really trips me out, because I talk to all these kids and get them to talk so much. And I know they view all media that gets shared on there, photos, songs, all that stuff. So why haven't they shut me off? Because I've got quite a bit of things I shared. I had a chart that was, I guess, from how curators and the people that found the players got paid. And there's a list of ways to get, have that person commit suicide, and there's a different Bitcoin price to each one. And if you want a photo of that, I can post that later on the site if you want.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
if you can get
people get paid for certain. If you get somebody, that's why they tell you they'll pick you and then send you off to one when they think that you're worthy, because they want to get paid. It's all extortion.
Oh, gotcha.
So, like I originally was playing with people, I would just jump in and find that guy, but now it's like, here, I got to see if you're even worthy. The first task, if you pass it, I'll send you to your your tutor. So now I don't understand. I mean, I see the middleman thing, but now I think it's like kind of like a cartel kind of thing, like just
It's
controlling.
like pay me $2,000 and I want.
Yeah, it's basically putting a ransom on your own self for no reason whatsoever. So by you dying is paying them off.
That's crazy.
And if that task is real, if that secret task, I haven't seen one yet where they have to poison or hurt somebody. But if it's real, there's a bigger problem, because that's awful. Then that's totally taking advantage of a situation that should have never happened. And then, could you imagine like 11 and 12-year-olds killing yourself? Or killing other people before they do it out of guilt?
Yeah, I don't want to think about that, but it does happen.
Have you has anybody seen or read about over in England or somewhere out there was a show called the Winx Fairies or Winx School?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, there was an online game for them to play connected to the TV show. And for you to be a certain, I think it was a fire fairy, they would tell these little girls or whoever's watching this.
Oh yeah,
over and over and over, to be a fire witch, you need to get up and turn your stove on and go back to sleep, and you'll wake up and be a fairy.
I heard.
That's all subliminal. That's like trying to recruit you to the army. You know how they always overpost things or explain things where it just sticks. That's just using the media to hypnotize kids, I guess.
I thought the Fire Fairy was affiliated with like some sort of. I saw something related to Blue Whale with the Fire Fairy, and I just assumed that was like one of the other routes the game went.
They're calling it urban legends because there's no proof yet of a lot of things. But the thing is there's a lot of people with proof, and nobody's taking the proof. They don't want to open a bigger door. I've been told by Huffington, I've been told by Wiki, I've been told not to bother. They told me not to open that door. And I'm like, well, what if I have proof and a physical person to speak and vouch for this? And there's all kinds of proof of who this person is, going to school with him, and, he could elaborate on the guy better. And nobody wants to take that because they're afraid of what could be.
Well, you mean older people telling kids to burn themselves?
Oh yeah, that's disgusting. I mean, there's a psychological thing, but I don't know. I haven't looked into the creator of that one yet. I would like to know the connection to see if maybe they.
I've seen a couple of pictures and victims.
Yeah, it's weird because in one way or another, if you look around on the Russian websites, if you go into Tor and look around over there, you'll find that they know everybody. Like, it's basically like Facebook, how they'll refer you, but they don't refer you. You just know all these people. How do you know them all? Where do you go to meet them? I mean, and it's all for the same thing. And it's just odd to me. And why I know the media has screwed it up here. The media is totally twisting it around, and it's either funny or it's not true. Or
I wonder if anybody has even checked on the darknet to see if they're.
The game I can't find. I was still looking, but I was hoping it was going to be a torrent or something. But I have.
I mean on Tor Onion pages.
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably another avenue to look into.
Yeah, it's just really hard to run into people like that. But for instance, like, I don't know. I guess I just found out who Kronos was. I just found out who Omni was or something like that. I guess they're hackers, and I ran into a room with them the other day, and they took advantage of what I was. They wanted me to join, I joined, and then they totally flipped the script, and that's where I found out FSB was created in that room. They're in that room.
Wouldn't surprise
me.
And
almost every group that you find on VK is going to have somebody that's not who they are. And it's either a bait account, it's either anonymous, they're all over the place, or it's FSB, which is pretty much as equal to us right now. So it's really rare that you're going to find a real serious, obvious person that you can prove that's him. Because they do control it so badly, so you'll see Russian names like Scooby-Doo with that ICK or something at the end, you know, something dumb, because they're so disposable, and they get blocked so fast.
Well,
but why mine? Why have they left mine up? Is mine? I don't understand. I think it's so weird though. Like I don't want to have my like helicopters and stuff land in my house or something. I don't know. I found out a lot of stuff that people are worried about, and I just want to know why. It just doesn't make sense to me. And there's nowhere to, like, I looked on the Russian, like the FSB website, I looked on the school's intelligence admissions website, stuff like that, to verify the teachers' names and stuff like that. And it was just so weird because there's nowhere to report this stuff, but there's a place you can sign in to, you know, for class.
Huh.
And they do live experiment and social testing, like they take you outside on the real world for their classrooms, because it's basically like FBI, you know, real time.
No kidding.
And they start you up at like 8th grade or something there. And it's all coding and cryptography and like social stuff. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it all out. I probably sound really funny sometimes because I still don't get it. But I mean, there's something about it though. It's just weird.
It's definitely something to look into.
Right, and there are kids that have been, like, for instance, I saved someone the other day. I mean, I was on accident, like, I didn't mean to, like, have this conversation with him, but it was really cool. He wasn't really trying to play, he just wanted some help.
Yeah. I think anybody who
actually, calls me his sister. He checks in with me every day now. He went and registered for school again. And he's like, I think he's from somewhere in Italy, I believe, but he's like, I love you, sister, I'll never forget that you saved me. And he called me on Instagram from like the top of a bridge or something. And he's like, I'm going to throw my phone. And I ended up talking to him so long that he got down. And I was like, oh my God. But it was a really good feeling to know that at least somebody can talk to them.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't matter. So all this money you're paying for psychological help, you don't need it. Just find somebody on the web that's dead serious and being anti-well and talk to you. Just listen. A lot of kids are not trying to play. They're just trying to see how
we got something.
But I mean, it's just something. I don't even know how I fell into it. I was just trying to look myself to see if I could find a game, and then I fell into it with Anonymous, and then realized how much more there was, and it's just crazy. It makes me wonder about so many things about the telecommunications and controlling everything. It's really irritating now. Like, I wonder how much you really are sharing with everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, everybody can think what they want. I mean, I'm still kind of in the middle. I still don't believe it for real, but it just seems like it fits really well. Like, and you know, the stuff with Russia always doing stuff to Ukraine, you know, they're always back at each other all the time. Something gets shut off, then they protest something. It's nonstop, but I don't know how, I mean, I can link it for my own views and what I found, but I just don't know how it would help in the long run for whatever the plan would be if they were. Like, I don't get it. I do know the game's a dead serious game, but it's not as heavy as it appears to be. I mean, you have to look around and, you know, pick out, obviously, the fake photos, you know, the videos and all the people. You have to call them out and make sure they, you know, people are not stupid anymore. They're starting to realize that the place is crawling with, you know, bait. They're trying to get you in trouble. So a lot of the times they'll huh?
I was also seeing doctored F-57 video photographs, the ones where they have to carve it into their skin. Those have been floating around too.
Yeah, and the thing, a lot of Twitter we all hunt for the photos. You know, we can always tell, like, you know, just because they're trying to post anything like that, we assume that they're obviously trying to help you find it. Or, you know, I had a bait account on Twitter. It's probably still up, but I had a fake picture I pulled off the internet and cropped it of somebody already with their hand cut, but reporting for just media like that because it's antagonizing basically. So I won't ask you for that. The first task will be to you know, watch the videos instead, because if you really are playing, they won't ask you for your media stuff because that means they're sharing it. And I have my kid's a makeup artist for like Fright films and stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about hurting myself. So I have like these fake F57 cuts on my hand.
I gotcha.
But I'll post a picture. They're pretty freaking good.
She gets into the games, don't she?
I want to find out who they are. It's just, well, because I mean, people don't make it past the first like task, and they're like, "Oh, I caught you. I found you." There's more. I mean, especially if you see how many accounts are blocked on each friend.
Let me just even do a search on Twitter right now. Let me see. What is it? What is it? What did they go? Blue whale. Hold on.
You just type in blue whale or 420.
No, they go.
Or
I'm gonna search right now.
And if you look at all the followers to all those accounts, like if you see an account and go check on their following list, a lot of them are anonymous or bait accounts. Every time a new one pops up, we all friend it and we all try to, we all do our share in communicating because some will get talked to easier than others, especially those that can't speak Italian or stuff like that.
There we go, Marika. I am the blue whale. Town curator. There we go.
Yeah, that's. I don't really know how long she's been on there, but I haven't seen it active. I don't know who else has those. Some, like I said, some talk more than others do. And I mean, I've got some that I never thought would be part of it, but I found them, and it's just. I don't know. I haven't been on Twitter in like 2 weeks, so I've been over on VK. It's kind of addicting.
Well, it looks like this.
There's so much more over there. It's crazy, and it's so controlled.
They're actually getting rid of a lot of accounts. There used to be more when you used to type in these keywords.
Mm-hmm.
Success.
Yeah, see, and Twitter's really good at getting rid of them right away. And VK, I've emailed them. I'm in a game, and tonight I'm supposed to like slice myself 3 times in the arm, which I'm not doing. And I reported his account because I thought he was a non at first, but it turned out he was not. And I don't know. He's got like 2 other people only that he talks to, but VK doesn't respond. So you have to pretty much block them for them to pay attention. So that's what I mean. They don't monitor their stuff unless they want to monitor your stuff. But I still don't know what my deal is. Like, I have so much on there compared to everybody that's been blocked, and I don't get it. Maybe it's just because it's private. I don't know.
Yeah, they're probably moving on to another platform that we're not familiar with.
I know that they were going to Discord.
Oh yeah, that's another place that would be, but you got to know what
it's so hard, yeah, and it's like Telegraph. It's very easy to just erase the entire conversation, and that's how orders were being carried out at one time, not on Discord, but other same messaging sites like that through terrorism. So I mean, and terrorism's not just ISIS; it's everybody. It's bombers, whatever. But that's how everybody's communicating, and because they know for a fact that communication is the only way that we can actually get away with stuff, believe it or not, and it's so strange. Because the communication is smarter than what we can do to hide we can't hide our own stuff like they can. The communication is way better. And to find a footprint, you know what I mean? It's incredibly hard to do on those sites. You can't even find a phone number to find somebody on those without having them give it to you. There's no directory. They're basically helping people become more evil and sinister and secretive and dangerous and
I was going to say, for anybody trying to play this game, it's an obvious cry for help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look up self-harm games on like Google search or something, and Google didn't ban these yet, and Google, they have the safe search filters, but usually they don't give you a choice in some of the things, and they'll take it down for you. But if you look up the self-harm games or suicide games for girls, it'll come up, and it'll be actually a whole bunch of games, and they work, and it's right there, right in plain view, no worries, no filters. And that one makes me wonder why are they helping with that? Like, why is that okay? Especially now with the the game going around.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just strange to me. Like I said, I'm just barely figuring it all out, so I could be wrong on a lot of things, but that's what I think. So whoever is curious, go to VK and start digging.
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of us are anonymous. You just have to. I friend people by looking at their follow list first. I will look at everybody on their following, who they follow, and then I'll determine if they're people I already know, or if they're working with Anonymous, or if they're working with Kronos. And I'll just be careful because a lot of the times they lie and say they are, but they're just using that information to do whatever they're going to do.
Yeah.
So there's just so much going on. It's probably never going to happen. Find the end, but I just hope the people I know will tell me soon. I'm dying to know. I want to learn Russian so bad.
I was gonna say Rosetta Stone overnight. That was funny.
Well, I mean, I'm not going there. I'm not like going to go with Thailand or nothing. But I mean, it's just so much interesting things that they don't even have smartphones out there right now. They're all on desktops. Like a lot of the people I talk to only come home from work or school and get on the computer. I think that's so insane.
Oh, and unlike 90% of people, that use a mobile device and PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like a lot of them, they only get a choice. Like I've never heard a Russian say that they loved country music. And, like if you look at people's profiles, there's no country music selections to pick from any community on Russia. Only death metal, witch house, techno, house beats.
Yeah, I was gonna say even the black metal and death metal scene is pretty big in Russia.
Right. Yeah. And I heard Russian rap for the first time the other day, and I think it's so funny. It's I guess they have from their charts. One of the people I spoke to told me to listen to it because it's about oppression and communism, and Putin and his rules, and he can do what he wants, and it doesn't sound like what it says, but it's crazy. They don't rap like we do here. It's all about politics. There's no open. You don't get to talk about anything but politics in Russia. It seems like it's like they want you to keep being on your toes and ready to fight or strong. It's like there's no outside.
It's Russia.
Like the Army, how they always have those, the recruitment signs, or the Air Force. And there's not a lot of it going around here because we all can do what we want and take those down, but they're everywhere out there, to tell you how to be. But there's a lot of, they were using the whale for an anti-campaign for the government there. They used the whale as the headline, the picture of it. So, I mean, why would they support that?
Don't know.
And it was one of the ones that the girls that have been proven to be killed from this had on their profiles. I mean, it's not like a blue ribbon. I'm not going to tie that on my shoe, but I don't see that a resemblance as like a memoriam. I think that's just antagonizing them and bringing it out more. But like I said, it's also 3 years behind in current. We're not current with everything. We have no idea, and it only gets across when they want to tell us. So that's my point. Is I'm trying to find out why.
Pretty much how everything is nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, Russia's been pretty secretive lately, and I don't know what they're doing, but I don't want to. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. I hope to give you guys more information one of these days soon.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's crazy. Feel free to go look it around.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do it.
I mean, I had a lot more to tell you guys yesterday. I totally spaced it out, though. I had it all I was gonna break it down for you and everything, but
Well, I'm pretty sure there's more that we can talk about it, and
Oh, for sure. I'll tell you guys more in the future when I get some more, when I get some more stability on it.
Yeah. Hopefully, find out these curators and who they are and
what the hell they want. And a lot of them, I found some on VK that just like yesterday, who seem like they would be, you know how like every time you sign up for Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg has to be your friend?
Yeah.
Like that's your first friend all the time?
On one of my old accounts, one of the old, one of the original accounts, it was really weird. Is that I had automatically liked the Facebook business page profile. So
yeah. It's like we had no choice. But there's people on VK that I thought would be implanted like that. But I look around in their history and their followings and stuff, and they're like 50, 60-year-old men or whatever and they're living in Moscow or living in Chelyabinsk, they're living somewhere out there, and they're from Turkey or Istanbul or something like that, and they're all friends with 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds, but he's the only grown-ass man on there. And I don't think that it's just for that. He's either... I want to say without proof, but I don't want to be held accountable because it's not probably true. I don't know, but I feel like they're using those accounts to find pedophiling stuff because it's easier not to get caught that way, and they can get some material out of it. Because I've been asked before to take naked photos with my proof of it, and I told them to fuck right off. So,
yeah.
But I see people falling for that and selling that shit on secret sites. So I mean, who's to say that that's not even a possibility? Pedophiles are trying to jump ahead of it.
Become the dark net. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, like I said, it could be that's what this is. I mean, that's up to you to determine your own truth. But I mean, there's so many different ways to go about it.
All right.
But yeah, so I think that's all I got, y'all.
Okay.
I did pretty good, right?
Yeah, you did. You did awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was cool.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
So we're going to talk about our next subject, Flint.
Sweet.
Chris?
Awesome. Yeah, first off.
Oh yeah, if you guys want any of the media or any of the materials that I have proof of, just ask and let me know, and I can do what I can to make it available for you guys if you want to do any of the looking around.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Just whatever links you got, you can post right here.
Yeah, I'll make you guys a folder.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, so yeah, first off, I gotta give a shout out to Dave Chappelle. He donated $50,000 to the Community Foundation of Greater Flint. That was pretty awesome of him.
Right on.
They fund you? Those guys fund you indirectly?
What's that?
Does that group fund you guys indirectly?
No, they do not. No. We also have 15 people have been charged, 51 counts of manslaughter. 2 have pled no contest to a lesser charge. I'm not sure what that charge is right now. They're kind of keeping that secret, I think.
Did you say 15? 1-5?
Yeah, 15 people have been charged.
Yeah, 15 officials, yeah.
Wow.
So I think the charges are ranging from manslaughter charges to lying to police officers. You name it, they're being charged with it. I think some of the charges are up to 15 years. 15 years, right? Is that some of them?
Yeah, 15 years. Maximum is 15 years. Yeah.
You know.
What else I got?
Go ahead.
Levy Collinsburg is the law firm that's going to lead the council with the charges. Nick Lyon, Department of Health. Daniel Early, he's the manager of emergency. They've all been charged with manslaughter. Howard Croft, Director of Public Works. Leanne Skeeter. Drinking water. I've never heard of a drinking water official, but that's kind of funny. Stephanie Bush, Department of Environmental Quality. She's looking at 15 years in prison. It all stems from the death of an 85-year-old man named Robert Skidmore. He died in December of 2015. And that's what led to the charges that are being filed against these people right now. It also led to the disease outbreak in Flint that the state officials did know about the outbreak, but they refused to sound a public warning that would have saved a lot of lives. So that's what all this is over. Pretty much in a nutshell.
Yeah, there was even more stuff that was going on in the background that I was not too, I was really kind of furious over. Was not only was the water contaminated, but it was the levies on the house and taking the houses away. That wasn't the worst part. The worst part is that when they were telling people to drink the poison water, they were also charging these people like weird amounts on their water bills. Like there was these mysterious $1,900, and the water is laced with Legionnaire's disease, lead. It's completely undrinkable. It's obviously not crystal clear, and you're also taking away their homes because they can't pay the water bill. So I'm like,
yeah, the water bills are the highest in the nation in Flint, Michigan.
Jesus,
it's crazy.
People were losing their
it's
homes.
$130 a month, I believe, for a water bill.
I think it was more than that. Some of the bills that I was seeing
Might have been.
were upwards of $1,500 to $900 a month.
Yeah, it might have been up that high. I'm not sure, but I know some people is like at least $130, and that's really high there.
And the average income in Flint, Michigan, I believe, is $27,000.
Right? Yeah, it's a pretty poor-looking city. It's rough looking.
Well, you're there still, right?
Yeah. I'm taking a break right now. I'm in seeing my kids right now, but I'm going back in a couple more days.
Oh, I thought you were still there.
No, I come take a break. But yeah, camp life gets rough, so you gotta take a break once in a while.
Now these charges are just a start. But here's the real $50 million question: does anybody have a real plan to fix what's going on?
Yeah, right. I know we have a plan to fix what's going on. I don't know if the city at all whatsoever. I'm not sure on that. I mean, we got local 8, I believe. I'm not really sure on that. On the plumbers union, and they're willing to do it if the city does not do anything about this.
Yeah, I was hearing reports that they did say that they fixed it, but it really wasn't fixed, right?
Right. Yeah, it's not fixed at all. I mean, they got to run new pipes into all these houses, every house in the city.
Yeah, not only
reran.
Yeah, not only do they have to replace the pipes, but they got to replace all of the water heaters and water storage tanks and all that. You know?
Right. Anything that has to do with that water, you can't even wash your hands in that water because it'll soak into your pores of your skin, and you'll still get whatever's in that water.
Yeah.
It's not something that you just. I don't know. It's really dangerous. I mean, it shouldn't even be messing around with the water.
Well, I was going to say the only real safe way to drink that water would be to distill it at I'm serious.
Right.
You'd have to distill it.
I'd be scared to do
You'd
that
have to
even.
distill it and then filter it constantly. At least like a couple,
Right.
20 or 30 times.
Yeah, I'd be scared to do that. I mean, there's stuff in that water you don't even know about. Like there's probably stuff in there that we don't even know about. It'd take a really good scientist to get it all out.
Let me see if I can look up the EPA. Let me see Flint's.
Right.
Flint's, let me pull it up. Flint water.
I know it also has chromium-6 in it.
Yeah, which is
also
known to cause
I looked that up.
cancer, yeah.
I think everyone has that in their water almost in the whole United States.
Flint water EPA report. Hold on. Probably isn't anything there. No, nothing's pulling up.
Wow. Probably hiding it all. Yeah, it's probably hide all that information now, so no one can get into it.
Now, when you were up there, is the water still brown that's coming out of the taps?
No, the water isn't really brown. It's just really cloudy. Like you can definitely tell there's something. Bleach kind of smell, really bad. Chlorine smell. I mean, you can smell it. You can tell it's not no good.
Let's see, Flint water.
I don't have that on my phone. I can pop it up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I'm trying to pull it up.
Right.
God, I am starstruck for words.
All right, me too. Oh yeah, I know. Eminem gave the Flint graduates some gifts or something when they graduated this year. I seen that.
He's from
Like headphones or something. I'm
he's from
not really
Detroit.
sure.
Yeah, all I saw was headphones. I don't know if there was
Popped up.
anything else in that bag.
Right.
If that's
I
all it
know.
was, I mean,
Like,
that ain't
geez.
much.
Right. That's what I thought too.
Now, you know what I found funny is that you verified for me is like I think we talked about this a couple shows ago, is that I had a high suspicion that none of the officials from Flint even lived in the city limits, and you told me
Right.
none of them did.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's crazy. They don't live there.
I mean, it's just the ethics and integrity. They're just, it's like, where did it go? It's just,
Right.
well, that's like Maxine Waters. She's no one from California. She always represents this district, but yet she doesn't live there anymore. It's like, how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know
I thought
how
you
they
had
can
to be
do
in the
that.
district. It just,
That's what I
yeah,
thought too.
Yeah, I thought so too, but it makes sense because they some of the shit that's going on there. We even found evidence. There was some sort of drug thing that was going on within the city, right? With the officials.
in the Flint water or that in California?
No, they were
No,
using one of the banks. The banks is a holding storage area. for
Yeah,
weed.
land bank. They're
that
using
sounds
land bank
familiar,
for
yeah.
marijuana.
It's that public-private partnership, Tyler. Yeah. Better
Yeah,
known
they
as
caught him
corruption.
talking about it over the phone or something. They record him talking about it.
God.
So,
Because that's what the good guys do, man.
Right.
now you guys are still doing those water drops up there, right? I mean,
Yes, we are.
yeah. I'm just surprised. How long has this been going on? Like over 2,000 days now, and they still don't have any good drinking water.
Yeah.
Now we
And
have
now the city's
now we have
refusing to deliver it.
yeah. Now we have we still have God, fuck, what was I saying? Now we have the arrests that are going on with the officials, but yet the water is still fucked up.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you arrest these guys, you fucking whatever. Now they're charged with manslaughter. That's fucking cool and shit, but that's social justice right there. But what I'm saying is that you still got a huge fucking problem. There's still fucking like contaminated water going to fucking, how many citizens are there? Like, how many people live in Flint now?
90,000.
So 90,000 people.
Yeah.
And they don't have the money. A lot of them don't have the money to leave. And a lot
Right,
of them, lot of them, yeah. So
Most of them are on Social Security, disability, stuff like that. Most of the people that work are out of the city. Yeah, it's really crazy how that city looks really ran down. Like Beirut or doesn't look like America.
So what finally changed? What agency coming out after all these charges? It seems like they'd been going down this path so long. Why now? Why did it change?
Right, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we're getting them some publicity or something.
Well, yeah.
Something.
Yeah, I was going to stroke you because it's you guys at the camp.
Right.
Hey, maybe it is. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting though.
Yeah, put them back on the map, I believe. Huh. But it seems like the FBI is into this investigation right now.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Huh.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're taking on the whole city council.
Well, yeah, they didn't warn any of the people that this shit was going on. No, even though it was blatantly obvious, you know.
Right, yeah, that's what they're in trouble for, not telling them. They knew about it, and they kept it a secret.
I've always found it interesting, these feds, it seems like the cover-up is what gets you in trouble. It's not the actual crimes that you're committing. You can seem to be able to get away with those forever, but if you try to cover it up, oh, now we've got something, and then they jump on it. It's weird, man, the way they do it.
Yeah, that's crazy. It is crazy. It is how it works, though.
Whatever it takes, but well, that is good news.
But
something happening up there.
Yeah, hopefully something will change now for sure. I mean, they're on the right track. I just can't believe it took this long. And no one else stepped up to help them out. I mean, what? I just can't believe that. Especially after seeing people there and talking about it, and still to this day there ain't really no one there to help them out.
Yeah.
Well, they had a pretty good scheme there of just arresting people. I mean, if you mouthed off at a city hall meeting, I mean, they just arrest you. I mean, there was a pretty good media blackout and putting the boot down, and that wasn't all that long ago, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, it was like 2 months ago. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I had to take a break from camp. It gets to you after a while. It's hard on you, especially after seeing all them sick people.
You still got pretty good numbers up there?
Oh yeah, we still got a lot of people up there. And there's also another camp going to Line 5, I believe. And that's all the way up at the tip of Michigan. Plus you got Camp Promise. Camp Promise seems to be going pretty strong. I know I seen they had a little carnival or something over at Camp Promise the other day. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're looking good. You bring in a carnival is.
All right. Who else does good? Take Back Flint. They're doing pretty good. I don't know. It seems like it's going in the right direction. It's just taking forever. And let's see if they'll actually prosecute these councilmen. I mean, that's a whole nother ball game.
Oh, with criminal counts?
Yeah.
Some of them.
It's the first time ever, I think, that a whole city council has been charged. Well, I don't know about the whole city council, but I mean,
I'm pretty sure a lot of the shit will stick. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna get some time.
Oh yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
Let's see if any of the big heads.
I know a lot of people have been saying that it's good to drink that water, and it really ain't good to drink that water, And they've said it, and it's on record that they've said it, so they're in trouble for it.
Yeah.
So how high up do these officials go? I mean, what levels are they hitting?
That'd be nice to know. They're probably keeping it under wraps right now.
Yeah, I mean, are we throwing the janitor?
It could be a lot more than what we thought. Because if they got 15 right now, I mean, there could be more. Especially with the FBI coming in.
Yeah, if they're already pleading and everything, guaranteed some of them are going to turn and all. So yeah,
right.
There should be more.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'd like to see what's going to happen myself. It's a lot of time and effort. And all the citizens are ill. I mean, you can tell all the citizens seem like they're all sick. It's crazy.
Oh, where'd our guests go?
Right?
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Um.
You got the numbers?
Yeah. Denise, you still there?
I
Denise?
don't see no one.
Hi, I'm back. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
hey, there you are.
Connection. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
sweet.
I'm sorry, brothers. I lost my connection. I don't know what went wrong. I was just wondering why suddenly, it's silent. I'm back. I'm here.
So
I'm
yeah,
back on board.
we can talk
Awesome.
a little bit about we can get to net neutrality a little bit later. But I kind of wanted to get a little bit of coverage of the op you got going on in in the Philippines over there because it needs some attention. It really does.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Denise Mabuhay from Philippines, by the way. I'm sorry I wasn't able to introduce myself. My bad. My bad. All right. Well, thank you, Ty, for inviting me. Well, are we gonna talk about the OP or what? About martial law here?
Whatever you want to talk about. We can also talk about the other op that's going on. But your op does need some attention now.
Yeah. Right now, well, we just posted on our page. Can I plug it in here? The page?
Yes, yes, yes,
All
yes.
right. Anonymous Philippines. I guess you can check it out. We're so active as well on Discord channel or server. So that's what been up to lately. We've been hunting down FB accounts of those Otis, groups, members, supporters, or affiliates. So we're trying our best to hunt them down. Last time I checked, I guess we were able to down 55 accounts, and it's a lot. As you can see it there on the paste bin, it's a lot, right? I guess there are lots of names there, so we're trying our best. We're mass reporting. Some of our brothers are trying to bypass or get into those accounts so we can get some information or intel. So I guess that's it.
And
It's
this is related to what's going on in the north. It
in
was
Meraki.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
in the southern. Yeah, because as you know, guys, our president just declared martial law in Mindanao. Mindanao, it's a southern part of the Philippines because we're an archipelago. We have so many islands. So it's one of the biggest islands in the Philippines. So he just when he was still in Russia, where's Tara, by the way? He's from Russia, right? Is he from Russia?
Who?
Tara. Where's Tara?
I don't know.
All right. So that's it. He declared martial law when he found out when he was still in Russia to attend a summit or conference, I guess, with all the world leaders, that there were some attacks by Maote's group. I don't know what's with this Maote's group because based on the report, Maote group is like a unified armed group that have pledged allegiance to
To
the
ISIS, right?
ISIS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sad because we just have some reports that this Maote family enjoys so many privileges, starring roles in the south because of they have the military strength. They also have financial profile or support and political status. So, and in fact, the leaders or the head of the family like Abula or Omar Khayyam, they were like vice chairman for military operations. So well, right now we're just praying it will be over. Our brothers and sisters, our family there in the south are suffering from this crisis. I hope it will be over soon. So my heart goes out with them. It's a sad, it's a sad event. It's a tragic event down there.
I heard. I also heard like the area. There's like the locals. The locals in the area are completely gone, fled.
Yeah.
Well, I did see.
I guess I'm sorry.
I did see one map. It looked like they were actually fighting. There's a river that runs through there. They were fighting on in kind of a dense urban area of Mindanao.
Here in Manila?
What was it? Marawi? Is that the name of the city?
Yeah,
That does-
Marawi is part of Mindanao. Southern part of Mindanao. It's like I guess it's the only Islamic city or area in the Philippines or in Mindanao.
Because most of the Philippines is Christian, right? It's like 98%.
Yes, most of us are Christians, Roman Catholics to be exact. So it's really hard. Wait.
Now, what was there some kind of economic reason this kicked off, or was it like a planned insurgency?
What the attacks in Marawi or in Mindanao?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, what really kicked it off? Was there a reason, or they were just supported finally to a level where they could finally attack like this?
Well, for that one, I guess they when Maoti, I guess first shown their attack in Davao, where our president came from, Davao City. So I don't know if I guess they're just because they're followers. They're so proud that they're followers of ISIS, and they organized, they recruited so many youngsters, so many people down there. I guess they just want to show off their power in Mindanao. It's been an ongoing problem here in our country. Christians against Muslims. I hope it will be over. I have not been to Mindanao yet. I'm planning to visit the place. I guess last quarter of this year, but it has nothing to do with Maute or any activities like that. I will just go there, to promote our Feed the Homeless operations because that's what I've been up to. I'm busy with Feed the Homeless here in the country, so I guess that's it. I don't know what else to say.
I guess
I don't want to cry.
it's okay. I guess one of our panel he has a sore throat right now. He wants to ask a question. He says, "Do you think the martial law in your country has more to do with ramping up the war on drugs instead of ISIS militants?"
Well, based on the report, he declared martial law when there's a necessity, when there was a threat. Because it all started when Davao was bombed. There was bombing in Davao. Then when our president was in Russia, well, when he found out that there was attacks ongoing in Marawi, so that's the time he declared martial law. And we all know that he's very active, or he wants to eradicate drugs as well.
Yeah,
in the
and
whole
I was gonna
city.
say, there's a rampant heroin problem in the Philippines, if I'm correct, right?
I guess it's shabu or marijuana.
Oh, shabu,
Where-
shabu.
Yeah,
Meth.
it's the
Shabu.
poor man's
Yeah,
shabu
meth.
shabu. It's a
Shabu.
different thing. Shabu shabu.
But yeah, I remember when he came into power. He had this big spiel on the war on drugs, and comparing himself to Hitler and eradication, and like he was Hitler, and he was going to eradicate all the drug addicts. And that I believe since he came into office, there's been like 5,000 deaths related around drug, and these were incidents with police and the drug addicts.
Yeah, like judicial killings.
I wasn't aware that was going on, but I just assumed that these were incidents where they're going after with guns towards people selling drugs.
Yeah, some of our legislators or senators or those who are in the office, they clamor about that, judicial killings. They're against those judicial killings that's been going on. Well, I don't know, cause I just stay at home. I want to be safe.
Yeah.
Some of the people. We even call it here tokang. That's the word we come up with. I'm just scared. I'm just scared. I don't want to go out, and because that's what they've been telling us. There are undercovers, policemen or police women who are in civilian, clothes. They would just come up to your house and shot you in the head, or I don't know. As we see on the news, that's why I don't watch the news lately, because I am traumatized. I'm terrified. I don't know. I just got scared.
Gotcha.
I guess you've been seeing that on the news, right? On CNN. What else? Worldwide News. It even went to UN, United Nations, right? Some of our officials even brought this up to UN or Worldwide Tribunal, to file against our president. But for me, I highly support a president. I want to I want to end drugs in our country because it's not helping. I used to be a director of Just Say No to Drugs when I was still in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. We went to prisons. We went to mental hospitals. I talk to different people who are drug dependents. We don't call them, drug addicts because it has a negative, connotation.
Medically, it's a wrong term too.
Yeah. So we call them drug dependents. I got the chance to talk to them. Why they use drugs? Why they what else? And I hope I was still in college at the time, so I hope it will be over because we're not that we're not that progressive country, so we're overpopulated. I just hope by doing that, our president, for me, our president is doing a great job. We put him in the office because we believe in him. So he became a people president because we believe in him. We want change. We want change in our country against all this corruption. That's why we don't progress. That's why we support him.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, he actually has a majority support actually in the Philippines. That is correct. Yeah.
I'm not sure about Hitler. So he really compared.
He did. There's a speech. Yeah, there's a speech. Yeah, I'm serious. Preston, you've seen it
like
too.
That.
You've seen it too, right?
Yeah. Not yet. He's just like that. He's very outspoken.
God, what's his name again? Oh shit.
Duterte.
Duterte. Yeah, Duterte. I can never say it right.
President
Duterte, Hitler. Duterte Hitler comments. Here we go.
All right.
Duterte likens himself to Hitler. Wants to kill millions of drug addicts. Wants to kill them.
But you know what? Where I'm at right now,
He
in
cusses
the
a lot
Port of
too. Yeah, he cusses a lot in front of camera too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his bashers, um, been that's what his bashers, blatantly open or said on public that he curses a lot. Um, but I know I'm not into his cursing or his cuss on public or on media. I hope he gonna take it away that that habit or that attitude. But I guess that's him.
Yeah.
We love him because of being him. Being being like that. He's very open. He's very outspoken. He's very direct. So for me, he's doing a great job. So we're gonna support him. I hope cause and I'm so happy in this part of in Manila where I'm currently in. When he had that campaign to eradicate drug addicts or drug abuse in the country or drugs in general. Most of the drug dependents surrendered to barangay captains or to our local officials. They want to change. They want to go to rehab. They want to help their families. So I guess that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
We see change in their behavior, in their way of thinking. That drugs, kill them.
You guys have a lot of rehabs out there. I'm not familiar with.
No, sad to say. We don't have that much rehabilitation centers, even hospitals.
No detox centers, so like you can't. So let's say you had a heroin problem, you couldn't just go to the hospital and say,
It's kind of expensive.
Oh, gotcha.
It's kind of expensive here. I don't know in the U.S. I guess it's also expensive, right?
Well, yeah. There's a lot of centers, a lot of detox centers on the kind of spread throughout the nation. I've been looking into research. There's some because they're doing experimental medication for heroin addicts in Mexico. They're using ibogaine. They have ibogaine detox centers in Mexico because it's legal there. But yeah, it's pretty big out here. Not like oh yeah, there's a fucking rehab. What I mean? Like, they're pretty popular out here.
Well, most of our drug dependents here are shy, to admit it in the first place. I guess that's the main problem of being a drug dependent. I guess, right? You're ashamed to admit that you have that problem within you. So when I was still active, when I was still in college, we had a campaign, to help those youngsters or our youth to come up, talk it over with their parents and admit it that they have that problem, so we can help them. Acceptance is the key, right?
Yeah.
So you need to accept it first that you have that problem. You have to recognize it first. You have to acknowledge it first, so we can help them. So in our local barangays or local governments, we have barangay centers or health centers that you can go to if you need help. Unfortunately, we don't have budget or funds enough to support. Yeah, even our prisons here, right? Our jails are outnumbered. They're like sardines.
Yeah, we're dealing with that.
So that's our main problem here. So hopefully we can, that's also one thing our president. I hope President Duterte will not only focus with drugs drug problems in our country, and he's also into graft and corruption, I guess. So um, it cripples any country, I guess, when we have corruption, because the funds, instead of it will be allotted to um like what you call this projects for the highways or transportation, for school, for our education. It will just go to their own pockets, of those officials. So I hope it somehow it will lessen. It's really hard. I guess it's a problem since time immemorial. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Corruption.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, drugs and corruption.
Yeah, it's when it gets past a certain level. There's always going to be a little bit, as long as there's just a little bit going on, and you actually go after the people that you do find, then you can contain it. But when it just when the corruption is allowed to get to too high a level, and then the police aren't held to account, then the fabric of society just kind of falls apart. It just money's missing, all kinds of things.
I was going to say kind of like the U.S.
Yeah, that's a social study on that one.
Oh, that's so nice. Oh, corruption, drugs and corruption, major problems here in our country. I don't know. I guess whoever in the position, whoever in the office will be having a hard time, um, stopping all these problems. That's why we've been telling, even with, my comrades or our brothers and sisters here, the one I handle with, the one I directly handle with, our anonymous brothers here. I've been telling them every feed the homeless we have, any operations we have, and when I get the chance to speak with them, I always tell them we should support our government. We should support the collective. We should help each other instead of pointing fingers or telling you did bad, or you I don't instead of telling that, bashing, or those trollers. We can't really avoid them, especially on social media. So instead of bashing your fellow Anons or brothers or sisters, why don't we help each other instead? Let's That's why with my page, with our collective here, we promote one love, one family, one people. Um, because we need to change the way they think. I guess that's our main. I guess that's what I also realized. We should help the way they think. We should change that, because if you just keep on blaming other people, if you can't start change within you, I guess you will not go a long way, right? You can't help others.
If you can't help
You
yourself.
can,
Yep.
yeah, I can't even help other people. So that's what I've been telling, especially most of our unknown brothers here or unknown sisters here are minors, still in college, still in high school. And since I'm their older sister, I'm their big sister, so I've been telling them, start with your family, listen to your parents, be a good student, be a role model. If you want to live by with the idea, with the anonymous idea, with the with this with the beliefs, with our ideas, you need to start it within yourself. Be a good student, be a good child or daughter or son to your parents. Listen to your parents first, and start within your family. Start the change within your family. Then then that's it. We can help more. We can help more people on the streets. We can go to or to different orphanage. Um, I guess we can. That's the time we can reach out. And once they're done with school, when once they have their degrees and they have jobs already, that's the more they can help out, right? They can reach out to our less privileged people. I guess that's my campaign. Do I make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I make
I was gonna say your campaign your op actually needs a lot of help though. Let me see if I can get the link for it up there. Always need donations, right? Let me get it. Where is it? Do you have the link?
Oh, wait, of our page?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, give me a sec here. I'm sorry. Where should I post it here?
I can put it in the links. And this is for the homeless. This is for the Feed the Homeless, right?
Yeah, it's we come up with this foundation. We call it Hope Philippines Foundation. Well, Hope it's an acronym. It stands for Humanitarian Operations and People Engagement. But it's a very nice name, right? We need hope, especially nowadays. We need hope for a change, right? So we need donations. We need your support, guys. Hope you can, dole out, shell out, help or support. Um, so we've been doing that. I organize different anonymous groups in our country, from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and I've been coordinating with them, how they run their Feed the Homeless, their feeding mission, or how we call it. Even we also have OP Back to School last month. We gave out like school supplies to our incoming grade 1 pupils.
Oh, that was weird. I went to your page. And it said you do not have proper permission to perform this action. What the hell?
What?
Yeah.
What happened? What happened to my page? Wait, let me check. Oh, Facebook.
It's the Hope Philippines Foundation, right?
Yeah, it's on my profile, Ty. You can check it out. Wait, it's there. I'll get the link. Give me a sec. I'm
This
so
one.
sorry.
This one, right?
Mhm. You see our logo, right? The one that signifies our flag, blue, red, and yellow, with hands, right? Open hands.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. It was really weird. I went to your page. That was really weird. Hope.
No, it's there. You can check it out. www.facebook.com/Hope Philippines Foundation. You can see it there. It's up.
Yeah, it's up. It
Oh
must
my
have been.
God.
It must have been an error on my end. That was really weird.
You scared the hell out of me, Ty.
Kind of scared me too. I was like, I was gonna get. Oh, session expired. Oh, we're done.
Oh my! I was thinking, come on, Facebook. Oh, come on, Mark. Don't take it down.
Oh, I got it again. It says insufficient permission. You do not have the necessary permission for that special Wi-Fi.
I guess there's something wrong with your.
Yep. Are we even live?
I'm back.
Hold on, let me try and paste this.
No, I'll send it to you on private message. Yeah, that's it. Our page is up. Oh, come on.
No, it's my account.
Oh. You scared the hell out of me.
Watch as this account goes dead.
Yeah, it's a harmless page. We just here to help out people. So come on, Facebook. Don't shut us.
Watch, this will be account number 20 million. Oh, good.
I'm gonna send it to you as well, the link of our OP Maute.
LP Mounta? Yeah, let me put that link so I can put it up there.
Yeah, give me a sec here.
Stopped our feed. Oh, now we're back. We're back.
I was just looking at it.
Oh, there you go. I just put it on our chat.
Okay.
The paste bin. Mm.
Let me put it up there. You want me to put it up there in the chat, on the feed?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay. All right. You get 1 million people in there. Okay. Let me put that up in the feed. Oh boy, censorship tonight, right? Thank you, Facebook.
I just downloaded this app, Mayway app. I'm just trying to figure out how to sign up.
Oh yeah. A lot of us, yeah. To a lot of us are nons. We've been trying to push this for a while. A lot of you nons and activists out there who can't hold accounts for the light of day, or if you have a friend who can't, you can find a lot of us on MeWe. We also have a Discord server. It's been posted on our page several times as a safety zone for nons. It's looking more towards that Facebook is kind of trying to push us off of Facebook altogether. So it's not just us. Activists, political ties, weird names, anything's really been setting it off, but it's becoming harder and harder and harder to stay on Facebook, I can tell you that.
And in some ways, activism, you could throw that on the list too.
Yeah, aren't the 3%ers going down too as well? Their counts?
Oh wow, really? No, I hadn't heard anything about that. That's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a scary name somebody had shown me a few days ago. I'm not going to get into it though, but so I think Christine Ann Sands was in chat. Probably doesn't ring a lot of bells, but only to a few of our viewers. But yeah, she sounds like she's up to no good, popping her little head up again. So. Probably doesn't ring a lot.
Now, if she's still there, is there any estimate like how many fighters, how many troops the government's throwing in, how many fighters are actually in the city? How many people are still in the city? That sort of info.
I don't have the statistics right now, the numbers, but I'll try to research on that and I'll get back to you. But I guess we have thousands of troops there. We're trying our best. The government, our officials, our men in uniform are trying their best to get hold of the residents, the citizens in Marawi, and try to relocate them to. But I don't know. I even spoke with one of our brothers in Marawi. He and his family don't want to leave out of the city because he doesn't want to leave their properties. I even told him, oh boy, you need to get out of the city right away. Yeah, don't think about your properties, your belongings, your house. Just think about the safety of your family. Because I guess multi groups are get hold of the city. I'm not sure what's the percentage. I guess 80% or 70% of the city itself. Oh, so sad. I guess 2 days ago, yesterday, we just PNP or our national police just apprehended or arrested a Mauti bomber. I need to check that news.
A suicide bomber? Did you say?
Uh, a bomber. Wait, let me get the news. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so busy with work. I'm not online. I'm not always online. You know that, Ty, right?
Yeah, there was that one incident where there was I think it was in nice part of where you were at. They thought it was related to the terrorist thing, but it was actually some sort of robbery incident inside of a casino.
Oh yeah.
They thought it was a terrorist thing, but it was no. It was just some guy. It was just some guy who was trying to rob the casino.
Yeah, I live near the area, near Resorts World, Manila.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm so familiar with the area. I was shocked when we had that incident. It cost us like 36 lives, I guess. I'm gonna pull up my report on that one. He had a gambling problem. That's what's on the news.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he had a gambling problem, but I guess he was fired from his job. I guess it's just a finance department.
The finance.
So he actually worked there.
Oh shit.
Inside job.
I don't know.
Well, suspecting if you had a gambling problem wouldn't surprise me if you lived in a casino. Really
How can you use chips? Okay, fine. You already, have those chips. Like how many millions worth millions of pesos chips? You can use them right outside the casino.
I guess.
No, you'd have to come back if you.
Yeah,
you
you'd have to go.
chips.
Yeah, come back to come cash them. Yeah.
Yeah, you can sell them outside, right? I'm sorry, I'm not sure because I don't gamble at the casinos.
I was gonna say most of them in U.S. At least the video. I don't know. I don't play much gambling, but well, you get especially with video poker and stuff like that. You just get the receipts and you come into the cashier and get them cash. But I'm not sure about the chips.
And these criminals are pretty crafty though. They flip them on the outside for half and be
come
gone.
back in, yeah, come and give you fake chips, and then go back in and
Yeah,
I heard some of them actually have those little chips inside where they can verify whether they're real or not.
Oh yeah, they've gotten more sophisticated over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to burn the casinos. They're on the cutting edge of facial recognition, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to get an update on the Philippines. I mean, honestly, here, from where I'm at in Texas, I don't hear much news at all from that area. If it's rare to see a story on it. But that's not unusual. I mean, that's the way the media is here. They black out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're seeing up there in your area, Tyler, but
well, it's the summer, and people start shooting. I'm not joking. It's like fucking clockwork. Yeah. Get the most shootings during the summer.
That is true. Yeah.
It is true.
Baltimore's having a big problem with it now. I mean, it's not just Chicago anymore.
It's not only that. There's a bunch of the cops. It's really weird here. It's like unless there's like a violent fucking crime, they're not really paying attention to at least in the city limits. When you go outside of the city limits, just like any other police force trying to enforce the traffic rules and stuff like that. But unless it's like a violent crime within the city limits, the cops should pretty much tell you just don't do this, don't do that, fucking this, fucking that, But there's a lot of organized crime, a lot of drug rings, a lot of it revolves around, there's a heroin epidemic going on, gang rivalry, you name it. There's a million and one reasons why this is happening in the city. You know. But I can tell you one thing: an increased police force is not going to solve the problem. Reintegration of education tools and bringing back the schools and the way to get felons to hire better job opportunities. There's a group out here called Interceptors, and they are gang interventionists. Ex-gang members who try and stop gang-on-gang crime. They get a lot of flack because they don't like to get the officials or the police involved, but they do save lives,
That's different, yeah.
Well, yeah, they're kind of unique. It's a nonprofit organization, and so basically they're highly involved, with a lot of these gangs. Not like you guys say, but they know what's going on, and when they see an incident going on, they try to stop it before it happens.
Drug problem everywhere.
Yeah. And I think the last thing I think we wanted to cover is net neutrality. On we might have to cut this show a little short because I'm running out of topics. On net neutrality, a lot of internet big names are jumping on board. You're gonna laugh at some of them. Pornhub, Vimeo, Netflix, Amazon, Etsy. God, who isn't on board on this? Are trying to stop what the FCC is trying to do. I think that it was voted 2-1 for them to change the net neutrality rules. But essentially, this is going to be a bad thing. And on July 12th, there's a lot of protests organized by a lot of these companies. Not sure where they plan on doing all of this. I need to pull up more information. I probably have it to you by the end of the show. Okay, online protests. Very well aware that's going to be going on July 12th. But essentially, getting rid of the reformation of this net neutrality. What it's going to do is that internet service providers can pick and choose what content you can and cannot see. What else could they do? Essentially, it would be a form of censorship on the internet. But the main thing is that the internet service providers would be able to choose slow and fast lanes on the internet. And according to what happened in 2015, which was why that net neutrality was even around, was so that your internet service provider would charge data as would be thought of as like another utility. But it seems like what's going to happen is that they're trying to dismantle it. There are some petitions going around right now. Demand Progress, I think, still has one going around. Mozilla, I think, was flying around some petitions going around. But every few years, something like this pops up. So it's not something new. But if we don't fight against what they're doing, we can see a lot of changes. What internet service providers are doing.
Yeah, you guys gone through a huge wave of that here with all your censorship issues and accounts going down.
Yeah, what's surprising is I don't see Facebook jumping on board against net neutrality.
Oh no, he'll fly over to China to go talk to them about how to do it.
Here's how you censor the internet. Okay,
yeah, Chinese.
Well, no.
Oh, yeah.
You know what Zuckerberg wanted is he wants everybody to. Essentially wants everybody to view the internet through Facebook.
He's ambitious, man. I give him that. He's.
Oh, it's fucking psychotic. It's fucking psychotic.
That's crazy, but.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, he's.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, if he can chum up with the Chinese president and put in Facebook Chinese type censorship, maybe he can pull it off.
Yeah, I was also getting word that there was some form of censorship even going on against some water protector pages. I got it. It was like 2 a.m. last night.
Well.
Yeah. So I mean, they were Facebook bound, so that was going on as well. I think what was it? It was like in relation to let me see, Tiger Swan. Hold on.
Yeah, they're probably still active.
Yeah. Wow, there's like a million messages. Yeah, they were getting error messages when they were trying to look at some, I believe it was Anonymous Indigenous Unit and or Faith Against Fracking. People were getting error messages when they were trying to read the pages. Yep, censorship again.
Yeah, it's very targeted.
Yeah.
Corporate. Well, you can definitely tie that to corporate censorship in that case.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the major companies that was for the changing of the regulations of net neutrality was Verizon. It doesn't surprise me. Make an extra buck, right? Not only are we a wireless provider, but we're also an ISP, and so we're going to. We can pick and choose who has the fast lanes. Yeah, if you want to have premium access to the internet, you got to pay $250 a month. That's essentially what you're gonna see.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna see little kids. Yeah. Then you're gonna see. I don't know. It's just it just reminds me of the '90s all over again.
They'll hijack it just like they do healthcare and everything else. Education, once they get in there, they just scramble it all up. It costs 5 times as much, and you get half of what you used to.
Yeah, there's a lot of big companies, trying to fight this. I'm hoping that it gains more popularity in the mainstream. What people talk about. But essentially, if this goes any further, this is going to affect a lot. This is something everybody should be looking into because this is a bad thing. Still seeing if my count is still up. Am I up? Alright, do we have any comments?
Well, there were a lot of comments. There's 400 something. I couldn't see it all, though.
You see MeWe, yes. A lot of us are on MeWe. A lot of us have moved there. Yeah, MeWe is one of those social media platforms that is... I don't believe they're corporate sponsor, but don't quote me on that. I'm not seeing any evidence of censorship. I am seeing fuckery going on where accounts are going down. I finally figured out how they were going down. I'm not going to get into the details so the fuckery doesn't go any further. But yes, pretty much if you want to put something out there on MeWe, it's not going to be censored. It's not going to be taken down. Is it Facebook? No. Is it just as good as Facebook? Not yet, but I can tell you one thing: you don't really have to worry about a lot of the things that you have to worry about on Facebook per se. I honestly feel that accounts are safer there. Are they safe? No, not 100%. Is it the security all the way up to where it should be? Absolutely not. But I do see an online anonymous community and activist communities growing on there. It has kind of cool features that you can do on Facebook, such as you can plan events, you can post, you can if you want to have events or street ops, it would be great. You can tag you can put your friends inside of the event. Group pages also have built-in chat rooms, so you don't have to have separate chat rooms. Is that a flaw? Yes and no, but it does get the word out of who's kind of active in your groups. Do I see a lot of us migrating there towards the future if Zuckerberg keeps on pulling this shit? Yeah, I do. Facebook is from what I'm hearing is not going to be a fun place to be in the future. Fingerprint IDs and all. No, I'm just joking, but
good idea. Hey, thanks, Tyler.
Well, didn't I tell you about that? Didn't I tell you about that where I had a real account, with me, and I had it got taken down and verified it with ID. Okay, that was done. That was done a while back, and then they were asking me to take a picture of myself. So, me being a stereotypical dumbass, put my picture in there, and they still didn't give me my account back. So, I don't know. I don't know how many people and how many accounts are going to have to go down before people realize that Facebook might be where everybody's hanging out, but your accounts are not safe on Facebook from Facebook.
Yeah, basically, just don't be an activist. Don't get too mouthy. Say anything about your leader, Comrade Zuckerberg. Be all right.
Yeah. Gestapo. The Gestapo. Oh yeah, somebody says new account. Yeah, that's even becoming an issue where there's a lot of issues on making new accounts. Not only just scanning for identifiers and repetitive names and predictive behavior, but upon new account creations that are flagged to begin with, they're also flagging other accounts. So let's say you've already been flagged for a name or something like that upon an account creation. So they've flagged other accounts that will hit you with something so that you need to identify it by your ID or whatnot. So it's a lot more complicated than you think. Also, they've been Facebook has been doing is predictive behavior on trying to find out what kind of emotions you're going through. I believe Denise, you got hit with one.
I'm sorry.
Remember, you got hit with the emotion bot. They said Facebook was asking you if you're sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked when I got that message from Facebook asking me if I need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
I was really shocked. I was really shocked. I don't know. I even checked my recent postings on my wall. Why Facebook sent me that message? Why Facebook feel that I'm sad or I don't know.
Well, essentially, what they're doing is they're proving a point that now we've known this. I mean, I'm not sure if everybody else knows this, but this is they are monitoring your things. They are monitoring your conversation. They are monitoring. Yes, they are selling your personal information to ad companies, but they're also monitoring, trying to monitor your emotions, facial recognition. They've already got it. So it's to the point where well, I mean, we'll still have the show up here for as long as we can. But
Well, that the only thing wrong with that, if it was for benevolent purposes, if that's who Mark Zuckerberg was, it'd be okay. But it's just that's gaslighting, like on the scale with this blue whale game.
But yeah, I've never seen.
It's just
I've
like
never.
they
I've
throw
never
that
heard
out
of.
there. It's
Yeah,
just
I've never
like,
heard of
oh,
such. I mean, I've heard of such things on websites, not social media. Websites where you need specific access to something. You need to verify who you are. What you're doing. Okay, but those are pay. Either special clubs, special groups, paid websites. But this is social media, where their mission statement was to interconnect the world. What's it? What is? Let me quote them. Hold on. Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook's mission statement. This is the original. Where's the original one? Facebook's in 2004. Facebook's mission is to give people the power to share and make the world more open and connected. Huh. I don't see any evidence of that. Not anymore.
Well, that was then. This is now.
Yeah. This is before corporate sponsorship and the Illuminati getting involved, right? I don't know. I see that. I always shoot that down with that Illuminati jacket from Mark Zuckerberg. But what I do see from that weird internal jacket that he has is that he does have some weird I guess internal groups within Facebook that they got their own little cult going on there.
Well, that's great that he can selectively break the rules like that for himself. I mean, that's the kind of leadership we're looking for.
Oh yeah, I mean, MySpace had its demise, because of Facebook, but I do not remember anything to this degree,
No, it really ramped up, 3 to 5 months ago. It's been recent.
Oh yeah,
They cranked it up quick.
I remember, even before I got involved with Anonymous, I had a real old account, where people were, thinking about the future, where all of our lives and pictures and this and that would be on Facebook, which didn't seem like a problem back in the day. You used to be able to pull all sorts of funny shit on Facebook, and then, let's say you're not an activist and you got flagged as for suspicious behavior, and you have your kids' pictures in there, your mom, all your memories. If you were, I shouldn't say, I'm going to say the wrong word. If you bought into it, that this would be a safe place to put all your stuff. No, it's not anymore. And I do see if these kinds of internal campaigns don't stop, eventually they'll just run themselves into the ground. Eventually, these kind of campaigns, because they do have plans to have. I think they might already have the integration to become a vendor and sell your stuff through a shop or links into through Facebook. But I heard that they wanted to sell stuff through Facebook. So if that kind of stuff goes down, you'll see your vendor, you've already dropped how many ever dollars they want. They're already getting a percentage, and then lo and behold, you're not a verified vendor. They'll do the same shit to you. All I smell is lawsuits.
Now he doesn't seem to get it. The ACLU, nobody really gets on him about censorship or surprising. When it's all in the club, and you're tailoring it for their look, you're okay. Just don't step out of those bounds. That's where everybody that's having trouble. You're not toting the line, basically.
Yeah.
You don't tote the line and the one narrative that we want you to go down, then there's going to be problems.
Yeah, for what for a while, we thought your account went down. We had trouble reaching yours. For
Mine?
Yeah, we did.
Huh.
We thought it went down.
Yeah. Maybe I see it and it's not really there. You can play that trick too. It's like,
you don't even really exist, man.
yeah, it's like when you have your thing muted and you're just talking to yourself.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling this account is going to go down after this show. I'm not joking.
Shame on you for exposing the AI FB botnet. Yeah, the quantum computer AI will actually become all your friends and your account. You'll just be like talking to
a bot.
A VR world of bullshit.
I actually ran into a site. Where they were doing shit like that. I'm not joking, and they even said it. In their thing that some of the people that you will get in contact with are bots or for promotion of the site or internal staff, and I was like, what?
Oh, that's great. Hey, thanks a lot. Yeah. I want to be nice to talk to a human.
It was in the fine print.
We reserve the right to simulate a friend or simulate your friend via AI. It'll be okay. Don't worry.
Don't worry about it. Give you a virtual hug, right?
Yeah.
I actually wonder if Facebook did that in the pioneer days.
We're here to enhance your experience by getting in between you and your friend and your communications, but we're the good guys. That's what good guys do. Well, they sure don't mind turning it over to the courts. Like your Facebook evidence now. That's like gold. It's just like they use that in court. It's like, oh, well, we got his Facebook account evidence, and everybody goes, oh, ooh, really? Wow. It's like really my Facebook shit. That's like. Okay, whatever. I got some huge conspiracy.
Watch Facebook has their special operations.
Okay, whatever. Oh. Hey, before too long, they'll have their own. You'll have Facebook SWAT team. They're done with all. Hey, we can't shut your account. You keep cloning and coming back. Well, we're just going to pay you a visit.
They'll come by and smash your computer.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're hiring Tiger Swan and all these other people, Mercs, to come after you anyway. Maybe we'll just have them come after you. We're through playing around on the internet. It's when you're going to be erased from now on. So we're not just going to shut your account down. We're going to take you out.
Yeah.
Because we work for the government now. Oh hell, we are the government. We're Facebook.
Well, essentially, yeah. There's also cops and whatever on the back end posing as somebody else to gather information, and they do have authorities that do have premier access to information on anybody's account. So.
Yeah, a lot is already being done.
Yep. All right, something's coming up in the links. Hold on.
This is Flint.
Oh. Shit. Let me see this link. Permissions are off. Public. God, my spelling today has been bad. Every other word is spelled misspelled.
I've about had it with these spell check on these phones, man.
Oh yeah, they're getting really
They
bad.
do more harm than good.
Like instead of saying I don't know. Any questions, comments? Let me see right now, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll cut the show early.
All right.
They really will if no were caught injecting scripted virus into the page code. They take everything. Keep giving your phone the bird.
I wish I could. I wish there was some other device that wasn't corrupted to the level of.
Has Zuckerberg been psychoanalyzed yet evil boy?
Well, I'm sure he has.
Like, and I've said this to the on the back end. Like Zuckerberg has this like creepy like fucking laugh, smile, and it looks like it's fake. But is he a psycho? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, I would definitely say so. He's one of those kids that when you beat him at chess, he smashes everything. Yeah. Burns down a building. All phones and computers have no cam. Wait, all phones and computers have no cameras. Truth is found. Illuminati just means another word for illuminated. Nice discussion. It's all speculation. I think that we know what's going on, but don't deceive the outward appearances because the truth lies behind closed doors. Give Facebook no personal info. You do not have to. Now that's something I have to look into. I think, if I'm not correct, that on their terms and policies, I think it's in there that they can do what they're doing. It's their website. It's their social media. Censorship is propaganda. It's the elite. It does not stop me either way because we're...
Yeah, it's actually their data too. I mean, it's not yours anymore. You've signed everything.
No, actually, and that's the weirder part.
You've given it all to them.
Yeah, especially with pictures and stuff like that. Yeah, it belongs to them, even though it's you. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, like, same thing with Instagram is owned by Facebook. If I'm not correct.
Is it?
Yeah, Instagram. Let me see. Let me see. Facebook. Let me double correct.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do it.
They both have They both have One Hacker Way as their headquarters. Hold on. Facebook.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's that's how he got started. He
also
stole the code, right? So yeah, one hacker. That makes sense. That's like a big joke on everybody too.
Well, they both. How much did Zuckerberg pay for Instagram? Hold on. $1 billion in stock.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both at One Hacker Way. So when you post up on Instagram, it's property of Instagram. It's not yours. So.
Well, it doesn't have to be that way, of course.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
He could abide by the old way of doing business. Like, I provide you this site, all this activity goes on, but it's still yours because that's actually you. It's not me. It's not the company. I'm just providing this platform here. So that's one way to look at it. That's the old way of looking at things.
Well, essentially, these rules that he's installing on Facebook. It's like it's turning into sooner or later you're gonna have to give a DNA sample to make sure that they're all like So in order to verify your account, we need to have your DNA sample.
Yep. Well, now, hey, watch the Ancestry.com. They're selling that data.
Yep.
To the feds. So yeah, you get your DNA done. You think, oh, I'm in this. I'm getting the results. They're private. Yeah, they ain't private, man. I mean, all these companies are doing this shit now. Yeah. Well, they've given up on your privacy. They don't care. You're just another slave. Slave on the plantation. A 21st century plantation.
Who was that lawyer that was talking about that on them selling your DNA? And he found it in like the fine fucking print.
Yeah, that was fairly recent. Yeah, they got busted doing that.
Yeah,
they've been doing it for a while. They just now got caught.
No, well, not only that, not only were they taking your DNA, but they were also selling it. Remember?
Yep. They weren't just keeping it for themselves. They were selling the data to others.
I thought they were also selling the samples.
Oh, well. Once you got the results, though, I mean, seems like that would be it. Who knows what they're up to.
They're trying to build superhumans. Oh, here we go. The Detroit Free Adam Rosnell, the DEQ water quality assets. Oh, analyst is charged. This is for Flint. Was charged for 3 felonies: misconduct in office, tampering with evidence, conspiracy to tamper, and 1 misdemeanor willfully neglect of duty.
Damn.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of these people are gonna get landed. They're gonna get some time, gonna do some time. But that's we still have a problem with the water. So.
Well, that's a start. See, it's been so long since anybody's been thrown in jail for anything in this country that the corruption has gotten to the level you see here. I mean, they have to do something. This is outrageous.
It's been like 2,000. It's been like 2,000 plus days. Come on, guys. We could have fixed this.
Well, you used to brag about, how advanced you were as a civilization, blah blah blah. We here in America, all the stuff we have, but
you can't fix
and now
the
it's
pipes.
Yeah, but now all of a sudden it's like, well, you know what? We don't really have a water system in Flint. We have to sweep that one under the rug real quick. And it's like, really? When has that ever been a problem? That's what gets me. It's like somehow all of a sudden the water system in Flint got to be this real high tech thing to do, and we can't figure out how to do it anymore, Tyler. It's like
all I can say is the 405 freeway was rebuilt in 30 days with gaps in it. And that was during the Northridge the big earthquake in the 90s.
Oh, earthquake?
Yeah, that was rebuilt in 30 days. Rebuilt the fucking freeway. Come on, dude.
Wow. Yeah, well, hey, see, there's an example of what the country can do when they want to. You can redivert all the supplies in the whole United States and get it there and get it done. It can be done.
Yeah. Human ingenuity. I'm pretty sure a lot of people. I'm pretty sure there were a lot of eager, Caltrans workers that wanted to make a lot of money working triple, quadruple overtime. So yeah. I mean, this can be done. This really is. I heard there was a lot of money laundering going on in Flint as well.
Well, it always seems to happen somehow.
Yeah.
But at least there you get something done. You get your traffic flowing again and get everything going. Yeah, there's a water system. I mean, that really blows me away, because that's having running water. That's a big deal. It has been for thousands of years.
You kind of need water to survive.
Yeah,
it's kind of one of those things. Like air, water, food.
Yeah, of all the things you would try to take away from somebody, it's like you take away water. Well, if they're ever going to put up a fight and do something, that would be it. It's just like you can't be serious. Yeah, we're just going to push this industrial sludge down your water line and see if you bitch about it.
like I was saying before, and I got some flack for it, is that, this is one of those situations where, the citizens should really come together and overthrow the political leadership in the area, because they're obviously not going to get some help and put matters into their own hands,
Yeah, I heard a good old boy network that ridiculous, man. I mean,
Well, ultimately the government has failed the people of Flint.
that it has.
And the government,
Big time.
are supposed to work for the people, not the other way around. So,
Well, what it'll be is a white paper of what not to do from now on. Let's at least make it
trust
a
me,
good
such stuff like this is going to happen. It's going to happen. There was, I think it was in California. There was a school. I remember hearing about the story that there was a school in California, and they had found a natural gas or some shit under the school, and they had to suspend the building of the school. I forget where the fuck it was. And I remember thinking, like, that's not a good idea. And then I remember hearing a story 6 or 7 years later that the school had been built, and they had to abandon the school because they had built it on top of natural gas.
On top of some kind of blown out well, or what was it?
I think there was
Just like-
people with breathing problems and shit like that. I guess some of it leaked or some shit. So
Yeah, that's
wouldn't be the only natural one. I mean, stuff like this is gonna pop up over and over and over and over again, because it's more about doing the wrong thing than it is the right,
short-term profits.
Short-term profit. Well, in Flint, it's not short-term profits. Flint is absolute fucking criminal.
Yeah.
It's absolute.
That's an example of a short-term problem that turned into a long-term problem for no good reason.
Yeah. And then took their homes away because they couldn't pay their bills, their water bills.
Yeah, or they protest, and even though, well, now here's the thing, you paying your bill. Hey, there's a contract, right? Really with the city that you're going to provide me with drinking water. It's not gray water, it's fresh drinking water, that I'm paying for, so it's there's a contract there.
Yeah.
It's not about stealing money and your corruption. Well, it's good. It's all caving in on them. It's about time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these people going to jail is some justice, but the true justice will be the water restored to the 90,000 residents of Flint,
Yeah, that's the big question. It's like, can we get fresh water in Flint? What effort? Is it just going to remain a Superfund site from here on out? Because that happens a lot now. It's like the problem gets so huge, and the amount of money gets so big that they go, well, you know what? We're just going to leave it in a pile right there and cover it up with some plastic, and hope it's okay. They
relocate the people and condemn it. I mean, that would be another solution. Would be, to condemn.
We just move. Yeah, we just condemn Flint, and we just move you out 10 miles away, because we don't know what the hell's going on. We're going to dig up the whole place. It's all screwed up.
Is a problem solvable? Yes. Is it going to take some time and a lot of elbow grease and a lot of work and a lot of ingenuity? Yes. Is it doable? 100%. Is anybody willing? Do I think it's possible? Of course, but do I think it's actually going to happen? I don't know. I think these people going to jail is one step in the right direction. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to put it into it.
Yep.
There is a solution, so knock it out. And if the solution is it's so screwed up, people need to leave because it's not safe, then that's the solution.
Yeah.
But you're not going to keep fooling around, trying to pump industrial sludge through their pipes and sell it to them as fresh drinking water. That's not going to happen.
I mean, also these people who have lost their house because of liens on their houses because they can't pay the water utility bills should either A, get their money back, or B, return their property to them. 100%.
Yep.
There's no reason in hell anybody's water bill should be upwards around $1,200, $900.
Yeah, what's the basis for their claim? I've provided you with fresh water. Now I'm going to take your stuff.
Water.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I broke contract. I have no complaint. No actual complaint or basis, but we're just going to take your stuff away. This is a hijacking. This is what we do here in Flint. Sad.
I'd say it's time to get out some industrial machines out there. Start doing shit, regardless of what the zone inspectors and everybody else is. Just start getting the right heads together and start doing shit on your own.
Yeah, I've already got the union plumbers on board. It's just like, hey, it's really got to be killing them as plumbers. It's just like, hey, if there's a group of guys that know they can knock the problem out, to be right there. Hey, we're the guys that are going to do it, right? We're the friggin' plumbers.
Yeah.
Just turn us loose, but they won't. It's just. And if you got high unemployment, hell, get all them off the street, hand them a shovel, man. Do it the old-fashioned way. Put some people to work.
All right. Let me see. Do we have any comments? They were given the wealth from Ra. Amon's Rothschild. If you really want to see what they know they are, listen to their names slowly, fast. Rothschild. Play with fire on the pest. To be ready if you hand them out time truly. Can you teach me hacking?
Hey, what about if that around a while, put on like security classes.
Well,
it won't be. We're not going to teach you anything, but we're going to have these security classes.
Yeah, you can find all your best resources on the internet. Google it. All of it. I like to say that about a lot of stuff, but if you aren't finding good search results on Google, because Google does catch and logs all of your searches, and there's another good search site, DuckDuckGo, doesn't do any of that. I recommend that as before Google. And DuckDuckGo does support, I believe, Tor. So when you're using Tor, you're not gonna get all these. Let's verify who you are, and let's click a million pictures to see who you are, just to search for God knows whatever the fuck you're searching for. You ever use that? You ever get one of those when you're using Tor or VPNs? No,
not yet.
They get insane. Yeah, you got to click all the pictures just to verify who the hell you are, or verify that you're human.
Oh, with those weird scripts and everything.
Like click all the cars. Yeah, click all the cars. Click all the signs. Yeah.
Oh no, nothing that exotic.
Yeah. Let's see. No comments so far. Let me refresh the page. Should see all war would cease to exist. Should see over design. Should All war would cease to exist. All right, so I'm gonna run the end credits and then we'll clock it out.
Very good, Tyler.
All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. Thank Denise for coming on. It was good to hear the
Yeah.
Philippines update.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. So sorry. Well, I'm just voicing out my opinion, right? And based on public information. Are you wrapping this up?
Oh yeah. I was gonna wrap it up. Yeah.
Well, no, it's it's good to hear because I mean, a local. I mean, you're far more familiar with your country than we are. It's hard to listen to the news and understand it sometimes, especially the way they spin it.
Yeah. How we know how media works. We're doing good here in Manila, in Luzon, in Visayas. We're just worried and praying for our for our family in Marawi. But we believe in our government, so I know they're doing their especially our military soldiers, policemen. I know they're doing a great job protecting our brothers and sisters there in the south against those terrorists. So we're praying and we keep on supporting them.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. And
thank you.
Yeah, please pray for us that this will be over, and not only in the Philippines, not only in our country, but also all around the world. Even in UK, right? There was a bombing there. Some parts of Asia. Where else? So, I hope this will be over soon. We should stop the hate, stop wars. Spread love and unity, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler.
All right.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Let me just do it. And 3, 2, 1.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly.